We are live and ready to roll on a gloomy day in Palmer, Alaska for some Alaska Baseball League action featuring the top two teams in the ABL. The Anchorage Bucs come in tonight on a 6-game win streak and a record of 21-17. And your ABL leading Matsu Miners are 25-15, coming off 2 wins thanks to a doubleheader yesterday against the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. The Bucs lineup goes as follows. Leading things off is Daniel Fredrickson, the left fielder from Gonzaga, followed by Jake Beat, the first baseman from Gonzaga. Batting third is Troy Clonch. The catcher from Oregon State. Cleaning things up today for the Bucs is J.C. Correa. Third baseman, the Lamar signee. Tanner Treadaway is playing second and batting fifth. The Oklahoma signee. Brennan Bro is playing center field from the University of Louisiana Lafayette. Tyler Malone is a designated hitter out of Oregon State University, batting seventh. In the 8th spot is the right fielder from Gonzaga, Jace Vandenbrink. And rounding things off, the shortstop from Utah, Dimitri Calaccio. They'll be on to face the right-handed thrower from Arizona State, Brady Corrigan. Making his 7th start of the season, Brady in 27 2/3 innings pitched has a 4.55 ERA, a record of 2-1 with 16 strikeouts, 14 walks, and 25 hits. It's the first time we've seen Brady in quite a bit. And last time he started was on July 10th, where he went 4 innings in a no decision and allowed 2 runs, both being earned. Daniel Fredrickson steps into the dish from the left side, and we're ready to get things rocking and rolling here in Palmer. Corrigan starts from the windup. His first pitch of the ball game is towered into right field. Ranging in is Nick Brooks near the foul line, and he'll make the one-handed grab for out number 1. So 1 pitch and 1 out to begin the ball game. Brady Corrigan can keep that efficiency up. He'll only pitch 9 pitches throughout the whole game. Rather, 27 pitches. My math was a little off right there. So the defensive alignment for the Miners, Aaron Walters is behind the dish. Bozetti in the hot corner. Swift at short. Van Blake at second. And Josh Hatcher over in first. In the outfield from left to right is Pinerini, Quiggle, and Brooks. The defense for your Matsu Miners. Jake Veith steps up to the plate from the left side. Also from Gonzaga, a real handful of players today on both sides from Gonzaga. As Corrigan nails the lower portion of the plate, 0-1. It's a ground ball that'll get right up the middle, and Jake Veith is on with our first hit of the ball game. So Jake Veith now on a 5-game hitting streak thanks to that little single, as he also leads in batting average by .001 over Spencer Henson. So they'll battle that out today. That's going to bring up Troy Clonch. He bats from the right side. The catcher out of Oregon State has been a nice addition to this Bucs team, batting .283 and .353 on base percentage this season. So really some offense from the catching position that the Bucs were desperately looking for came in Troy Clonch. First pitch from Corrigan. This nails the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. 1 down here in the top of the first inning. Jake Veith stands on first. He just got a single as Troy Clonch is in at the dish from the right side. An exciting matchup between the first and second place teams in the Alaska Baseball League. Clonch flares one into right. Nick Brooks takes a few steps in to make the catch for out number 2.
And before the game, we were watching Brady Corrigan out in the bullpen, just warming up, getting ready for this game, and he was feeling good. Got a lot of praise from pitching coach Jeff Verlab, and so far so good for him early on.
Yeah, and this is Brady's first time pitching in almost 2 weeks. Normally as a starter, you get a week of rest, give or take a day. But Brady, it's been a bit, sort of went out of the starting rotation, then put back in. And now he's going to try to perform today as he misses high with a fastball to J.C. Correa. The right-handed hitter, that's a Lamar signee, younger brother of Carlos Correa, batting .231 this season. He's also a participant in the home run derby this year. He lines one into center field. Kona Quiggle just stands there and makes the catch for out number 3. So Brady Corrigan gives up a hit, but the Bucs leave him stranded, and the Matsu Miners will come to the plate for the first time tonight when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer.
Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
A nice first inning of work for Brady Corrigan as we have yet to see a score as we enter the home half of the first inning here in Palmer between the Bucs and Miners. The Miners lineup goes as follows. Caleb Van Blake leading things off, playing second from UC Davis, followed by the designated hitter out of Oral Roberts, Spencer Henson. Conequiggle bats third, the center fielder from Grand Canyon University. Cleaning things up for the Miners is right fielder out of Gonzaga, Nick Brooks. Aaron Walters catching and batting fifth from Texas A&M. Josh Hatcher, the first baseman, batting sixth out of Mississippi State. Tyler Bozetti is the third baseman out of Nevada Reno, batting seventh. In the eighth spot is the shortstop from Arizona State, Drew Swift. And rounding things out in the 9-hole is Austin Pinarini, the left fielder out of Gonzaga. They'll be facing right-handed pitcher Preston Snavely. The Miners are familiar with Snavely. This will be the third time he's pitched against them this year. In 7 appearances, 5 of them have been starts. He's gathered up 29 of third innings pitched and has a 3.68 ERA and a record of 2-2. Out of Fort Collins, Colorado, by way of Wichita State. So Caleb Van Blake will get things going for the best hitting team in the ABL and the Matsu Miners. They come into tonight batting .263 on the season. So Van Blake from the left side of the dish, a righty on lefty matchup to begin the bottom of the first inning. Snavely's first pitch, that misses low in the dirt. The count goes to 1-0. Caleb Van Blake finally with enough at-bats to be qualified on the ABL batting average list, sits sixth with an average of .299. So the 1-0 to Van Blake has him swinging through. Actually, he got the bottom of the barrel on it, 1-1. The Bucs come out tonight supporting the black jerseys with yellow numbering and lettering with a white trim around it in the gray pants. The Miners in the camo jerseys with yellow numbering and lettering on that. So Van Blake fouls it off to the right side and then comes up a bit with a limp. He'll drop into a catcher's stance after he fouled that one off. So Van Blake seemed like he hurt something in his lower body. Looks like it's on the left side, left leg area, trying to walk it off. There is no medical attention yet, as he has a few words to the home plate umpire, Nate DeSantis. I believe he may have hit it with his bat or with a ball. Nevertheless, he's ready to stand back in. He's down on the count 1-2. He's a tough guy. He's been hit 11 times this year, Connor. So
yeah, very tough guy, and just waves off the trainer, even though DeSantis wanted the trainer out there.
So Snavely's ready for his 1-2 pitch. And Van Blake will look at it in the dirt for a ball, 2-2. Surprised that Snavely didn't try to offer something, not necessarily over the middle, but in the zone to try to test Van Blake, whatever may be injured. Nevertheless, the count sits at 2-2. Snavely working from the windup, his pitch. That misses low, 3-2. So Caleb Van Blake has worked a full count. We mentioned this is the third time Snavely has seen the Miners. On the year right now, he sits at 1-1 through those first 2 starts. So he takes a deep breath, gathers himself, his payoff pitch. Caleb Van Blake lifts it into right field. Jace Vandenbrake jogs in, can of corn for out number 1. 1 out in the top of the first inning, no score. We'll go through the Anchorage Bucs defensive starters. J.C. Correa is in the hot corner. Tanner Treadaway is playing second base. Jake Veith over at first. Dimitri Calaccio is the shortstop. Daniel Fredrickson's in left field. Brennan Bro in center field. And over in right field is Jace Vandenbrake. And the man behind the plate tonight for the Anchorage Bucs is Troy Clonch. So with 1 down, one of the hottest hitters in the ABL right now, Spencer Henson, steps to the dish. I mentioned he's second in batting average, just .001 behind Jake Veith coming into tonight. as he swings through an off speed from Preston Snavely right there. The count moves to 0-1. So Henson's average does sit at 359 with a 429 on base percentage. He does lead the league in RBIs with 32. Snavely's second pitch to Henson is a breaking ball that misses low and outside. The count goes to 1-1 with 1 out. And the Miners are going to have a tough task facing this Bucs staff that in their past 6 games have an ERA of .33. This 1-1 pitch bounces off home plate, hits Troy Klon's chest protector, and rolls over to the right side. Count moves to 2-1.
And this is going to be a fun battle to see between Henson and Jake Veith, whoever's going to be at the top. And Henson, he's trying for his second straight triple crown in average RBIs and home runs. He got it in the spring, now trying to do it here in the summer.
Definitely been a huge help to this Miners order. Whether they plug him in, he's done great things. 2-1 pitch is a fastball that hits the outside portion of the plate. Count now sits at 2-2. And in 5 of the past 6 games, this Bucs pitching staff has thrown a shutout. So they're definitely a tough arm to try to hit off of, but the Miners are the best hitting team in the ABL, so they look to break that streak. Henson lifts one. Deep left field. Fredrickson moving back to the track, to the wall, and he'll make the catch while touching his back to the left field wall for out number 2. Little too much air underneath that one for Henson, as he didn't really hit it to the pipeline part of the park. That goes out towards right, pulling it and going to the left. That brings up Kona Quiggle. Speaking of hot bats, this guy is on an 8-game hit streak. His batting average during that span is .405, and he has 5 RBIs. Kona really seeing the ball well of late, as he takes the strike inside from Snavely. So another righty on lefty matchup, the second of the first 3 batters in this Miners order. Expect a lot of the righty on lefty matchups because the Miners bring a lefty heavy lineup night in and night out. Kona Quiggle flies it off to the left side and out of play. So the count will move to 1-1. And Kona now on the season's worked his way into 3rd place in batting average thanks to this streak at .318, and also has 48 hits, which leads the ABL. Snavely's 1-1 into Quiggle, has him bouncing it foul into the Miners dugout on the right side. Nick Brooks, who is waiting on deck, if Kona Quiggle can reach, makes the grab. Quiggle 1-2. So yesterday we mentioned how Kona Quiggle switched batting gloves. Asked him about it before the game. He said, well, my other one's ripped, and Austin Pinarini had an extra pair, so he gladly lent me some. So hence the change in batting gloves. So he takes a fastball inside, 2-2. 2 outs, top of the first inning, no score between the Bucs and the Miners. The top 2 scoring teams in the ABL. Snavely from the wind, his 2-2 offering. Kona Quiggle, a chopper over to first base. Jake Veith will handle it himself for out number 3. So the Miners are retired in order to begin this ball game, as we're still scoreless through an inning of play on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Brady Corrigan, right-handed pitcher from Arizona State, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Welcome back into Palmer, Alaska, as we're at Herman Brothers Field for this great contest between the Matsu Miners and Anchorage Bucs. It's a gloomy day here in Palmer, sitting around 70 degrees, so the heat still seeping in, but a lot of cloud coverage and a nice turnout tonight at the ballpark to watch the top two teams in the ABL square off, as the Miners better get familiar with the Bucs. They'll be facing them in their final 4 conference games of the season. So the 5, 6, 7 batters due up for the Bucs. Tanner Treadaway will get things going here in the second inning. Treadaway, the second baseman, the Oklahoma signee, just finished up his freshman year at Seminole State, a community college in Oklahoma. He lines this one straight back to the backstop, 0-1. Treadaway is batting .231 with a on-base percentage of .274 this season, but has been hot of recent. 3 hits in his past 8 bats in the prior 2 games to this one with an RBI. So Corrigan's 0-1 delivery misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. Corrigan, I mentioned, out of Arizona State, originally from Plainfield, Illinois. As this is a check swing foul over to the right side. Corrigan ahead in the count, 1-2. Corrigan looking for his 17th strikeout of the season. As we mentioned, is on a lot of rest. Last time Brady Corrigan pitched was 13 days ago. So he stands tall on the rubber as Tanner Treadaway steps back into the box. Treadaway has struck out 21 times this season. Corrigan's 1-2 is tapped right back to him. He runs off the mound to make the play for out number 1. Excellent job of fielding his position right there from Brady Corrigan. And much like a lot of pitchers do, Connor, they sprint to the ball, make sure that they have the play, and then sort of relax with that throw to first.
Well, it's almost cat-like reflexes all pitchers need to have because the ball could be hit back at to them anytime. And for Corrigan, he knew that was a slow roller, didn't really reach the mound, but he knew he had to get off and then hurry the throw to be able to get Treadaway.
They're not natural position players in this stage of their career, so they definitely want to get to the ball first so that way they can gather themselves to make the throw over. Brennan Breaux steps in from the left-handed batting box and looks at a ball, 1-0. 1 down, top of the second inning. No score between the Bucs and Miners. To mention, these are the top 2 scoring teams. The Bucs are second with 144 runs scored, and the Miners, with a very wide lead the ABL with 197 runs scored this season. So Corrigan, a 1-1 count to Breaux. His next pitch, swung on and missed. A fastball that had Breaux just barely missing it. So he's yet again ahead in the count, 1-2. Breaux batting .225 this season, only 26 hits and 115 at-bats. Currently sits down on the count, and he swings through a high fastball from Brady Corrigan. Corrigan has set down the first 2 batters here in the second inning.
And this is good to see from Brady Corrigan, getting a strikeout here, his first on the day, and just really working his way through the first time of the Bucs order.
Corrigan now 17 strikeouts on the season as Tyler Malone steps to the dish. He's the designated hitter today for Anchorage out of Oregon State. So Corrigan misses away 1-0. Malone not having the summer he would have liked. Only 2 hits with an average of .057. So would like to turn it around sooner rather than later as Brady Corrigan hits the outside corner with a strike. As the Bucs, they're only 3 games behind the Miners, would like to possibly get home field advantage for the playoffs. The 1-1 pitch misses low, 2-1 for 2 down. And much like the Miners, the Bucs are 15-4 at home, and the Miners are 16-4. So both really take advantage when they're in their home ballparks. Corrigan's 2-1 pitch is fouled off to the left side. The count goes to 2-2 with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. So Corrigan trying to set down the Bucs in order for the first time tonight. From the wind, his 2-2 pitch swung on and missed by Tyler Malone. Brady Corrigan puts the Bucs down 1-2-3 to end the top of the second inning. 0-0 is your score as we head into the home half of the second inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Alaskan Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect to train. Look, listen, live.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
As the soccer fans and soccer broadcasters would say, we're at 0-0 through 1.5 innings of play. We're in the home half of the second inning here in Palmer. Bucs and Miners squaring off. Brooks, Walters, and Hatcher due up for Matsu, the 4-5-6 batters. So currently the season series sits at 4-3 as the Miners have won their last 2 games against the Bucs. And the Miners were also the last team to defeat Anchorage, as the Bucs are on a 6-game winning streak. And we mentioned it's really been the pitching that's done so. Shutouts in 5 out of the 6 games, and also have an ERA of .33 during that time. So Nick Brooks steps to the dish for the Miners. Brooks batting .294 this season with a .415 on-base percentage in just 10 games played, as he's had 8 hits in those 10 games. So he comes in from the right side, a graduated senior out of Gonzaga, the second-year Matsu Miner, last year's home run derby champ. A look to get things going here in the bottom of the second inning. Snavely's first pitch to Brooks is fouled off the plate and then hits Brooks. So the count will go to 0-1. And the Miners, over their last 5 games, have batted .342 and have averaged 6.8 runs per game, as they've won 4 out of their last 5. So Miners starting to heat up as well in the perfect time of the season, as they really gauge for that first seed for home field advantage in the playoffs. Preston Snavely misses low and away with a fastball. Nice grab there by Troy Clonch. Brooks this season had some 3 extra base hits in his 10 total hits, with 1 home run coming in Anchorage. So Snavely's 1-1 offering. Brooks swings through the off-speed pitch. He's now down on the count, 1-2. Brooks has struck out 7 times in 10 games, as the Miners strike out the least out of any team in the league at a rate of 255. Whereas the Bucs, they strike out the second most at 301, sitting only 8 strikeouts behind the Miners coming into tonight. This 1-2 pitch swung on and missed by Nick Brooks. Preston Snavely has his first strikeout of the ball game here in the top of the second inning with 1 out. So Aaron Walters will step up to the plate from the left side, the catcher out of Texas A&M. He is now 7th in batting average with a .296, and that's due in large part to this 5-game hit streak he is on. 9 hits in his last 20 at-bats, also 4 RBIs within that span. So really seeing the ball well, much like a lot of the Miners right now who are looking to turn it on in this final part of the season. As this inside fastball hits Nate DeSantis in the right foot. He is jippy after that one, trying to walk it off. As he takes a break, we'll go through the officiating crew tonight. Nate DeSantis is behind the dish. Scott Johnston is on the first base side, and Josh Nolan will be on the third base side. That's your officiating crew tonight for this ball game. So DeSantis seems like he has shaken it off and walked back into his position behind Troy Clonch. So the count is 1-0 with 1 down here in the second inning. So the Miners, we mentioned, winning both games yesterday, scored a total of 19 runs against the Chinooks, as Aaron Walters skies this one into left field. Daniel Fredrickson moving back. He's to the track, jumping up at the wall and making the catch for out number 2. Daniel Fredrickson with a web gem for out number 2 here in the bottom of the second inning.
Just a really nice play coming from Daniel Fredrickson. He knew where the wall was. He gauged it when Spencer Henson hit it that deep, and now the second time the ball was hit that deep, he's able to get Aaron Walters' ball as well. So nice play from Fredrickson.
Mentioned Henson hitting a deep one as well. So that's 2 catches now. Fredrickson has had to back all the way up to the wall, and even with that catch on Walters, had to go into it a little bit. So Josh Hatcher looks at a low fastball for ball 1 to begin his first at-bat of the day. This 1-0, it's a warm burner over to second. Tanner Treadaway throw to first in time for out number 3. So Preston Snavely has set down the first 6 Matsu Miners batters to begin this ball game. No score through 2 innings. When we return while the 3rd inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect to train. Look, listen, live.
This is David Avitia from Grand Canyon University. I'm a catcher, and this is Matsu Miners Baseball.
Second inning here in Palmer, Bucs and Miners have yet to score in this ball game. Vandenbrake, Calaccio, and Fredrickson are due up for the Anchorage Bucs, and the Bucs have only been batting at a clip of 245 in their 6-game win streak. But we mentioned their pitching has been wonderful, so that's about all you have to do, as they've also scored 21 runs in that span. So just throwing 3 or 4 runs on the board and then allowing the pitching to do the rest, a little give and take in order to get wins as they've worked their way into second place in the ABL, 3 games back of the Matsu Miners. The Sun Devil still on the mound, and Brady Corrigan, his first pitch of the 3rd inning, is a fastball that misses low and away to the left-handed hitting Vandenbrake. Another Gonzaga player out there in the batter's box. Vandenbrake batting .250 this season with an on-base percentage of .328. He swings through Corrigan's pitch. The count is now 1-1. So Vandenbrake, his past 2 games, 3 of his last 7 with 2 RBIs that both came in last night's affair. So the 1-1 is a 2-hopper over to Josh Hatcher, makes the nice backhand play, and then toss to first base to Corrigan for out number 1. So 1 down in the top of the 3rd inning. Your ABL standings currently, the Miners are atop at 25-15. 3 games behind are the Bucs, 21-17. The Oilers sit in 3rd place, 5 games behind. They're all 500 at 19-19. And in those 4 and 5 spots, it's close. Pilots at 15-21, 8 games behind. And a game behind them is the Chinooks, who sit 16-24. This is a flare over to Drew Swift, who dives, and the ball just gets out of his leather. So Dimitri Calaccio is on with an infield single. Well, considering it may be an infield single, as it just reached the outskirts of the infield for the 2nd hit of the game for the Bucs.
That would have been an amazing play if Swift could have, got more leather on that, but, did a nice job ranging over, getting to the ball, and didn't allow it to go deep into the outfield.
So the shortstop from Utah is now standing on first here in the top of the 3rd inning. That would be the first run of the ball game, as the Bucs now have 2 hits on the game. Fredrickson steps back up to the plate from the left side. He flew out to begin the ball game. As he's looking to bunt, this is a nice placed one down the 3rd base line. Bozzetti charging in, his throw to first in time for out number 2. So a nice sacrifice bunt from Daniel Fredrickson. However, the Bucs only now 1 more out to work with, but they do so with the batting average leader stepping up to the dish in Jake Feith. As Calaccio now stands on second, he is in scoring position with 2 outs. So Corrigan is working from the stretch. He's done so now 2 out of 3 games, and it looks like they're going to intentionally walk Jake Feith. This is probably a smart idea for multiple reasons. A, Jake Feith is leading the league in batting average, and B, he is a left-handed hitter, and with a righty on deck, the advantage will be Corrigan's way for the next batter. And C, you now have a force out at 3rd, 2nd, and 1st with 2 outs.
Yeah, you have a force out and everything. Also, what it allows to do, you don't need to have the shift on Jake Feith. I was surprised not to see the shift the first time around, and it hurt him, because if Swift was over near towards second base, he probably would have gotten that ball. And Veith, as we know, has pulled a lot of balls. That's where he gets the majority of his hits.
And typically, with the field being such a natural surface and some funky hops here at Erman Brothers, hence maybe why not the shift, but we may never know. We'll have to ask the coaching staff after the game on the reason why. So Jake Veith has now been put on first because of the intentional walk, and Troy Clonch will step to the dish with runners on first and second and 2 outs here in the top of the third inning as the Bucs try to get the first run of the ball game and possibly extend their winning streak to 7. Corrigan's first pitch to Clonch is a strike. It's always tough to come with a strike to the next batter after pitching 4 balls well away for an intentional walk. But Corrigan did a nice job of doing so right there. So he has a long look into Aaron Walters. Now comes set from his chest. His next pitch into Clonch is a high fastball that Clonch bent out of the way of. Count now sits at 1-1. So Clonch in 2 games against the Miners, now 3, is 1 of 8 and went 0-4 the last time these 2 teams squared off. So he's still trying to figure out the Matsu staff as Corrigan lifts his knee and then spins around to look back Calaccio. And Calaccio on the season has 4 stolen bases, so a little bit of speed around the base paths. Nevertheless, with 2 outs, I'm sure Corrigan's main focus is on the batter. He's working from the stretch. His 1-1 delivery just misses outside to the right-handed hitting Clonch. Clonch with 3 RBIs on the season has an opportunity to do so right now with the runner on second, as the count is 2-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning.
And for Brady Corrigan, he needs to just dial in and throw strikes, pitch to contact here, and try to get Clonch out.
Corrigan's 2-1 pitch. This one shot in the air to the right side. It's going to be slicing foul, however, so the count is now all tied up at 2 with 2 outs. So Brady Corrigan looking for his 3rd strikeout of the game. As my partner just mentioned, Corrigan normally does decide to go with that contact approach. Only came into tonight with 16 strikeouts and 6 starts, but already has 2 through 2 innings of work. Count all knotted up at 2 as we have 2 outs here in the top of the third. The Bucs trying to score that first run. Corrigan's pitch just misses outside. The count has been worked full here with 2 outs. So the runners on first and second will be in motion as Calaccio had a 1-out single, and then Fredrickson bunted him over, and then Jake Veith was put on by an intentional walk as he is leading off on first. So 3-2 count. Corrigan's payoff pitch just fouled off as that'll hit Nate DeSantis in the face mask. He is taking a beating tonight so far in this ball game.
Well, we're only in the top of the third inning. There's already 2 balls that hit the umpire. Usually, you see the catcher getting hit a lot of times on those foul balls, but now it's just Nate DeSantis.
So Nate DeSantis, hopefully this trend doesn't keep continuing for him, as he'll be hit a lot tonight if it does. Nevertheless, we're still sitting at a full count with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. The Bucs with runners on first and second. Corrigan comes set. His pitch swung on and missed by Troy Clonch. Brady Corrigan with his 3rd strikeout ends the visiting half of the third inning as the Bucs leave 2 runners aboard. We're still scoreless here in Palmer. We'll be right back on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's Josh Hatcher here, infield outfield from Mississippi State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
0-0 is your score between the Bucs and the Miners as the top two teams battle it out today at Herman Brothers Field. The Miners have been set down in 6 batters in a row thanks to Preston Snavely as he looks to continue his streak against the final 3 batters in the Miners order. Tyler Bozzetti, Drew Swift, and Austin Pinarini are due up. So Snavely, his last start came on the 19th against the Oilers, where he went 6 innings pitched in a no decision, allowed 1 run, which was earned, and 2 hits and 2 walks on 5 strikeouts. So he's coming in pitching well of late, but only on 4 days of rest. So Tyler Bozzetti steps in from the right side. He's really worked his way up in the batting average chain as he's batting very well of late, and now has a average of 254 with a 354 on base percentage. So a righty on righty matchup to begin the bottom of the 3rd. Snavely's first pitch misses low and away. 1-0 to Tyler Bozzetti. Bozzetti with 11 doubles this season. Really doing a great job of gap hitting when he elevates it past the infield. As this is a rocket down the 3rd baseline, but foul. The count goes to 1-1. Snavely this season has allowed more than 4 earned runs in 2 starts this season, as this is his 6th start, so just under half of his starts this season. He's allowed 4 earned runs as the count is 1-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Snavely winds and deals. It's a 2-seam fastball that nails the upper edge for strike 2. Bozzetti has went down on strikes 25 times this season. We mentioned the Miners striking out the least out of any team in the ABL, now at a mark of 256. The 1-2 pitch. This one is fouled straight back and over the press box. The count is 1-2. Miners trying to win 3 in a row against the Anchorage Bucs, as they have won their past 4 out of 5 games thanks to 2 yesterday in the doubleheader against the Chinooks. Snavely's 1-2. Bozzetti towers one behind home plate. Clonch will look at it, but it'll head over the fence. The count goes to 1, or the count will stay at 1-2. So Bozzetti really making Snavely work for this final strike. As Bozzetti in yesterday's doubleheader went 2 of 5, had an RBI as well. And he's trying to be the first Miner to reach in this Matsu lineup. Snavely from the wind. His 1-2 pitch. Fastball that misses high, 2-2. Snavely standing tall out there on the rubber at 6'5", the Wichita State. Out of Wichita State, I should say. So we're still scoreless here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, as Tyler Bozzetti has had a hit in his past 12 of 13 games played. Takes time as Snavely had a long look in.
And Bozzetti, he's just seeing the ball well, putting good swings on the bat, got his mechanics down, and, a vast improvement from where he was in the beginning.
So the 2-2 pitch is hit at the end of the lumber of Bozzetti. He'll stay alive at 2-2. In the Miners, it's very impressive what they've done those past 5 games, batting .342 and also averaging 6.8 runs per game. So they'll do it against a tough pitching staff of late in the Bucs. But this is a big-time game, as the Miners are very good at home this year. They look to continue that recent success. They've won 6 in a row here at Herman Brothers. 2-2 pitch misses low and away. Tyler Bozzetti has worked a full count, as the 9th pitch of the at-bat will be coming up soon.
And this is just a quality at-bat from Tyler Bozzetti. He's really working Preston Snavely, forcing him to throw strikes, and just doing a nice job.
So full count with nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Snavely's pitch misses low and away. Tyler Bozzetti works himself a walk, and the Matsu Miners have a runner aboard for the first time tonight, thanks to Tyler Bozzetti's base on balls. So Drew Swift will step up to the dish from the right side. The 8-hitter is batting an even 200 with 28 hits this season and has an on-base percentage of .254. But Drew is doing a great job of driving in runs when needed, has 15 RBIs this year. So Bozzetti on first. Snavely will have to work from the stretch for the first time tonight. He's set from his chest. His first pitch to Swift. Swift looking to bunt, puts it down to the right side of the pitching mound, coming off the mound and throwing to first just in time by half a step to get Drew Swift for out number 1. As that was sort of a lollipop throw over to first base, and you can't be too careful with Drew Swift because he'll definitely fly down that line.
Well, Drew Swift has the most speed as of anybody here in the ABL, and of course he's always hustling out of the box, and it puts pressure on no matter what pitcher or what player is fielding the ground ball. He knows he has to hurry, and that's the kind of pressure that Swift puts on them.
And Austin Pinerini, the left fielder from Gonzaga, will now step up to the dish from the left side with a runner in scoring position and only 1 out as the best run scoring team in the ABL looks to strike first in this battle of the first 2 teams. So the first pitch to Pinerini misses low. Count goes to 1-0. So Pinerini, batting .278 this season, has a .362 on base percentage, is in 3rd in the ABL with 25 RBIs. As before yesterday, he was on a bit of a cold streak. No hits and 14 at-bats, but in the second game of the doubleheader, the only game he played in, went 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs. So the next pitch to Pinerini is lined behind us here in the box. The count goes to 1-1.
And you could tell Pinerini he was locked in. He's focused. If you watch the post-game interview, had no idea he was 0 for 14. All he cared about was getting back into the box and getting things straight.
Pinerini, a guy just finished up his junior season in Gonzaga, so understands the ups and downs that baseball will bring. As long as you stick to your craft and know it's going to come around, it will. As we sit out a 1-1 count with 1 down, the pitch into Pinerini is lined into right center field. Tyler Bozetti around third. He'll try to score and will. As Brendan Bro makes the throw into second base, the Miners have struck first in this battle of the top 2 teams thanks to an RBI single from Austin Pinerini. Now his 5th in 2 games as he has had 4 hits in a row.
Just a nice line drive off the bat of Pinerini. He didn't do too much with the ball, knew he just needed to get in play, and he does so. Line drive out into center to score Bozetti. Just doing a great job.
And I'm sure Pinerini will thank Drew Swift when he heads back to the dugout because that is how Tyler Bozetti was standing on second. A nice sack bunt, and then the perfect execution thanks to an RBI single of Austin Pinerini drives in Tyler Bozetti as the Miners now lead 1-0 over the Anchorage Bucs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A high fastball has Caleb Van Blake swinging 1-0. So the Miners now scoring 198 runs on the season. Mentioned the Bucs are second, but they're 54 runs behind that mark, sitting at 144. So they are right behind the Miners, but if you look at the numbers, it is a wide margin. So Snavely from the stretch is 0-1 to Van Blake, misses low and in the dirt. 1-1. Van Blake now against the Bucs is 2-12, does have an RBI, as Pinerini now who stands on first now with 5 RBIs against the Bucs and 26 on the season. As that is his 5th RBI now in 2 games. Snavely from his chest comes set. His 1-1 offering to Caleb Van Blake is on the way. Van Blake lines it down the right field line, but foul. So he'll go down the count 1-2. That was definitely a strike just outside of the outstretched glove of Jake Feith over at first. But unfortunately, it was a foul, so the count goes to 1-2.
And first place umpire Scott Johnson really had to move out of the way there. He's right positioned on the line. Almost got hit with another ball.
So the Miners now, who lead, are trying to give the Bucs, or trying to end the Bucs' 6-game win streak, as they were their loss before they went on the winning rampage. A nice breaking ball on the outside corner rings up Caleb Van Blake for out number 2. Preston Snavely now his 2nd strikeout of the ball game. That's going to bring up Spencer Henson. He did not get a hit in his first at-bat, but we mentioned with 47 on the season, and does have 2 RBIs against this Bucs squad. Looks to keep his great display of hitting going, as yesterday in the doubleheader in total went 4 of 7 with 4 RBIs and also had a 2-run home run, which barely got over that right field wall. 2 down, bottom of the 3rd inning. The Miners have already scored with now a lead of 1-0. Thanks to the hit of Austin Pinerini. It's the only Miners hit, but it was pretty efficient. So anytime you can get a hit and bring in a run, all that matters. So he dives back as Snavely checks him.
It's all about timely hitting in this league, and great timely hitting from Pinerini.
Snavely's first pitch to Henson is a liner down the third base line, but nice backhand from Correa. His throw all the way to first has Jake V sort of catching it at an awkward angle, but he does for out number 3, but not before the Miners strike first in this ball game. They now lead the Anchorage Bucs 1-0 after 3 innings of play on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Hi, I'm Brady Corgan, right-handed pitcher from Arizona State, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
The Miners lead 1-0 heading into the 4th inning, and for these middle innings, I'll toss it over to my partner, Connor Mills.
All right, thank you, Brad. It's the Miners 1, the Bucs 0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Brady Corgan doing some nice starting pitching on the day. So far, he's held them scoreless with 3 strikeouts. Not as impressive as yesterday when the Miners staff struck out 15 in total, but still, Brady Corgan doing a nice job getting the outs and just improving day by day and pitch by pitch. That's what the Summer Ball League is for, whether you're here at the ABL or playing otherwhere. Just want to get better every single day, and Brady Corgan has done so. Leading off here in the top of the 4th inning is J.C. Correa. Correa flew out to center field his last time up, as he's 0 for 1. Correa on the season coming into the day, batting .267 as he swings at the first pitch. A 2-bouncer over to Tyler Bassetti. A little bit of a high throw, but a good stretch from the first baseman. Josh Hatcher gets him. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. So Brady Corgan doing a nice job working through. Now is the 2nd time through the order. J.C. Correa retired on the ground out to 3rd, and now Tanner Treadaway coming to the plate. Treadaway, he grounded back to the pitcher his first time up to lead things off in the top of the 2nd, as we're here in the top of the 4th with 1 out. Miners up 1-0 on the Bucs. As Corgan from the windup, he deals swinging and a line drive out into center field, but right at the center fielder, Kona Quiggle, for the 2nd out. Well, talk about efficiency here. 2 pitches and 2 outs.
Yeah, he really is. Corgan, we mentioned a guy that pitches to contact, so he's going to leave you pitches that you're going to want to hit. And unfortunately for the Bucs, they're hitting them right at the Miners, but good for Brady Corgan.
Brady Corgan, as we were talking about earlier in the game, we were near the bullpen when he was throwing his bullpen, and a lot of his teammates out there were chanting breakout starts. They know that Brady's been working hard, and they know that he's been needing a start like this. As the first pitch is in for a called strike to Brennan Bro. 0-1. Corgan finding his rhythm now as he's working quick. He's swinging a miss from Bro, who struck out his first time up. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning with the Miners up 1-0 on the 2nd place Anchorage Bucs. Corgan looks into Aaron Walters, and now he's ready. The pitch just in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 away. And Brennan Bro, 26 hits and 115 at-bats coming into the day, batting .266. As now the windup is ready and the pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield playing Bro straight away. Infield, everybody's back. The 2-2 taken high and away for ball 3. Count is run full to Brennan Bro. As Brady Corgan still in search for his 4th strikeout. Scoreboard has gone out here at Harmon Brothers Field as the 3-2 pitch swung on and lifted out into center field. Taking a couple steps back is Kona Quiggle. Eyes it up, makes a one-hand grab. And the side is retired. Not much going on for the Anchorage Bucs here in the top of the fourth inning. The Matsu Miners have a 1-0 lead over the Bucs as we head into the home half. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is Kona Quiggle, outfield infield from Grand Canyon University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Kona Quiggle will lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning, with the Miners leading the Anchorage Bucs 1-0. It'll be Kona Quiggle, Nick Brooks, and Aaron Walters all due up. And for the Miners, this is a big game. This is game 1 of 4 until the regular season is over. The Miners do have 2 exhibition games, however, coming on Friday the 27th and Saturday the 28th before they face the Bucs for the final time on Sunday the 29th. In between those days, it's the Bucs today on the 23rd, 24th. The Miners are away at Mulcahy, as is the 26th. 25th is an off day, as Miners will have a host family dinner to show appreciation for all the host families and everything they have done for us here in the summer of 2018, as the first pitch from Snavely misses low and in to Kona Quiggle. And really, without the host families, the majority of this wouldn't be possible.
No, it really wouldn't. And really just goes to show the whole community support's always willing to, from the host families opening out their homes to all the businesses willing to contribute to this whole Matsu Miners organization.
2-0 the count now to Kona Quiggle as the ball missed away. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning, as Quiggle now swings and pops this one over towards the left side in left field, ranging towards the line is Daniel Fredrickson. No heroics there. A routine fly ball to left as Kona Quiggle is retired. Daniel Fredrickson went deep twice to try and he did catch Spencer Henson's ball and Aaron Walters, as Walters will be due up next, as Nick Brooks is now in at the plate. Brooks today, he struck out swinging his first time up, brings his strikeout total to 8 on the season. Coming into the day, batting .294 as the first pitch. He is swinging, and this is a high towering ball out into shallow right field. Ranging in is the right fielder Jace Vanderbeek, who makes the catch. So as Brady Corrigan was effective in the top of the fourth, the Preston Snavely equally as effective here in the bottom of the fourth, with now Aaron Walters coming to the dish.
Both sides really having trouble figuring out each starting pitcher. Luckily for the Miners, they do have at least one run across, so they can work with the lead.
The one run coming on in Austin Pianerini, RBI single, his 26th of a season, as he drove in Tyler Bassetti, who worked a nice walk from Preston Snavely back in the third inning, as right here Aaron Walters swings and grounds one over towards the second baseman Tanner Treadaway, who throws over in time for the third and final out here on the bottom of the fourth inning. But the Miners, they still hold a 1-0 lead over the Anchorage Bucs as we head into the top of the fifth inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Brady Corgan, right-handed pitcher from Arizona State, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Bottom three of the Bucs lineup due up here in the top of the fifth inning. Tyler Malone, Jace Vanderbrake, and Dimitri Calaccio are all due up. Brady Corgan now pitching into the top of the fifth as he looks to continue his success that he's had in the game. Tyler Malone is 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning as the first pitch swinging is Tyler Malone. That goes foul towards the left side and out of play. 0-1 the count. Nobody out here in the top of the fifth inning. Miners leading the Bucs 1-0. As now the second pitch is swung on, and this one's popped up into shallow center field, ranging in and making the one-hand catch is Kona Quiggle. So again, Brady Corgan pitching to contact, keeping his pitch count low, and doing a nice job.
And Corrigan, who got taken out after 4 innings of work in his last start, got the rest, got refocused, and is real confident, and now it's gone longer than that last start.
Corrigan from Plainfield, Illinois, the big righty, 6'2", 200 pounds, as he misses outside with a fastball to Jace Vanderbrake for the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Outfield is slightly shifted towards left, just the center fielder is. As now the second pitch misses to Vanderbrake. 2 balls and no strikes.
And it's good to see Brady doing well, as he was highly involved in the kids' camp that's gone on the past few days for the Miners.
The 2-0 pitch on the way is taken high. 3 straight balls into Jace Vanderbrake with 1 out here in the top of the fifth inning. There's still 1 more day left for the kids' camp. The Miners had to reschedule the Thursday camp as this one bounces into the dirt for ball 4. 4 straight balls from Brady Corrigan into Jace Vanderbrake, and now Dimitri Calaccio, who had a hit his last time up, will stand in at the plate. Calaccio batting in from the right side against the righty Brady Corrigan. There's a runner on first base here in the top of the fifth inning. Miners up 1-0. Corrigan pitching from the stretch, something he hasn't had to do since the third inning, where he worked out a little bit of trouble. First pitch is taken inside for ball 1.
That pitch just missed on the inside, so way to stay aggressive right there from Corrigan, trying to hit the inside portion of the plate with the fastball.
The walk to Jace Vanderbrake was the first unintentional walk, as now a breaking ball, hot shot over towards third. Tyler Bassetti from his knees throws to second in time. He gets the lead runner. A nice play, and Caleb Van Blake smart to hold it off and not throw the ball away, as coming in and sliding hard was Jace Vanderbrake into Caleb Van Blake's legs.
Yes, it was. It was a good slide from Vanderbrake. Wasn't a dirty one at all. Just simply came out of his way just a tad. Didn't have the spikes up. Just got Caleb Van Blake uncomfortable. So unfortunately wasn't able to make the throw. But a big out there from Brady Corrigan.
Dimitri Calaccio out on a fielder's choice, and it's the top of the lineup for the Anchorage Bucs. Daniel Fredrickson stands in from the left side here in the top of the fifth inning with 2 down and a runner on first. The first pitch from Brady Corrigan misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs. Josh Hatcher, the first baseman, is holding on Dimitri Calaccio. And Calaccio is 4 for 4 in stolen bases. So something that Brady Corrigan will have to keep an eye on, as he does here and checks over. Count remains 1 ball and no strikes to Daniel Fredrickson. Fredrickson on the day, he is 0 for 2. A fly out into right field and a 5-3 putout. That was on a sacrifice bunt where he moved over Dimitri Calaccio back in the third inning. Swinging here and fouling it off towards the left side and out of play is Fredrickson. So the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. With 2 outs here in the top of the 5th, Miners up 1-0. And for the Miners, a timely hit from Austin Peterini scores them their only RBI, as it's 1 run and 1 hit. For the Bucs, no runs and 2 hits. Pitching from the stretch is Brady Corrigan. He's ready and deals. Swung on and fouled straight down off of the shin guards of Aaron Walters. As now Asa Lacey will come up, pick up the foul ball, and find a nice fan to throw it to.
And this is a big pitch here. Brady Corrigan would really like to get this third out before Jake Feith steps up to the plate. So going to be interesting to see how he attacks Fredrickson right now.
1-2 the count. 2 outs, runner on first. Brady Corrigan, he's ready and deals. Swung on and fouled off towards the right side as that's a bouncer over into the warning track gravel area. 1-2 the count remains to Daniel Fredrickson. Fredrickson coming into the day was 21 for 91, batting .231. Had 9 RBIs, 12 walks, and has struck out 16 times. Count remains 1-2 to Fredrickson with a runner on first here on the top of the 5th inning. The pitch looked at all the way, but just a little low or just a little outside, maybe a mix of both. Nate DeSantis didn't like the pitch too much, and neither did Daniel Fredrickson. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. Brady Corrigan now has to dial in. The 2-2 swung on. This one's hit out into right field, ranging into right center field as Nick Brooks. He eyes it up, makes a one-hand grab, falls down a little bit as he trips on the grass. And that's the 3rd out. So for Brady Corrigan in the inning, 4 came to the plate, 3 were set down, as the Miners still hold a 1-0 lead over the Anchorage Bucs as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi guys, Drew Swift, infielder from Arizona State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Matsu Miners lead the Anchorage Bucs by a score of 1-0. Due up in the inning is Josh Hatcher, Tyler Bassetti, and Drew Swift. Miners looking to get to Preston Snavely here, as only 1 run has come across on either side. As we take a look at the standings in the ABL, it's the Miners at the top at 25-15. The Anchorage Bucs 21-17, 3 games back. Peninsula Oilers, they've been off for 3 straight days, as their record remains at 19-19, 5 games back on the Matsu Miners. For the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, they're 15-21, 8 games back for the lead. They are eliminated from first place. As a first pitch into Josh Hatcher, he swings, and it's a chopper over towards second. The throw in time from Chandler Treadaway for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Routine ground ball to second to retire Josh Hatcher. As now Tyler Bassetti will come to the dish. Back to the standings, the Chinooks are at the bottom right now, only a game behind the Anchorage Glacier Pilots as they look to get into the postseason for a first time in a long time. They sit with a record of 16-22. 9 games back on first and have already been eliminated mathematically from first place. First pitch into Tyler Bassetti is taken on the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1. For the Miners, their magic number to clinch first, it's at 3. The only team with a good chance is the Anchorage Bucs, as the Miners will face the Bucs 4 straight times starting today. As swinging and fouling it straight back, nothing into the count to Tyler Bassetti. Game 1 of 4 is today. It's the Bucs tomorrow, and after an off day, the Bucs again on Thursday. 2 exhibition games, and then the Anchorage Bucs come back to Herman Brothers Field on Sunday for the final game of the regular season for the Matsu Miners. The 0-2 is swung on and missed by Tyler Bassetti for strike 3. That's the 3rd strikeout on the day for Preston Snavely, as now there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning for Drew Swift.
And if the Miners hadn't scored back in the 3rd inning, it'd be a real pitcher's duel going on right now. But luckily for the Miners, they can take somewhat of a deep breath knowing they have the lead.
1, 2, 3 in the 1st, 2nd, and 4th inning for the Miners as Snavely misses high and inside to Drew Swift. 1 ball, no strikes. Swift looking to stop the trend there, as the only hiccup really for Preston Snavely was in the 3rd inning. A Tyler Bassetti walk, a sacrifice bunt from Drew Swift as he flares this one out into right field, but ranging over near the line and making the one-hand grab is Jace Vandebrake. Another 1, 2, 3 inning for Preston Snavely here in the bottom of the 5th inning as this game has progressed into the top of the 6th. It's the Miners 1, the Anchorage Bucs nothing, as you're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer Henson, infielder at Oral Roberts University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Top of the 6th inning, Miners 1, Bucs nothing, as Brady Corrigan looks to go for his longest start of the season. 2 outs here would accomplish that, as his longest start was against the Bucs on June 16th. Also tied with the Oilers on June 28th as the first pitch into Jake Veith misses for a ball, 1-0. Jake Veith, Troy Clouch, and J.C. Correa all due up here in the top of the 6th inning as the ball from Brady Corrigan misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. And again, the scoreboard has been on the fritz as our PA man Wolfgang Winter has said it's something new every day. Swinging and missing, here's Jake Veith. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. There's no shift on, but there is a greater depth being played by the middle infielders as well as the corner infielders. The 2-1 swung on, a hot shot over towards Josh Hatcher. Nice play from Josh. Reaching out, a hot shot off the bat of Jake Veith, and by his fingertips, he's able to make the play.
And that is always a big out when you can retire a guy like Jake Veith, much like Spencer Henson and a few other Miners. Always tough to get out, but Corrigan did so right there. And if he can get through the 6th inning unscathed, that'll be huge for the Miners.
Brady Corrigan, as we said, looking for that breakout start, hoping it comes here today, as swinging and missing is Troy Clouch. Clouch on the day is 0 for 2. With a fly out into right field, his first at-bat, and struck out in his 3rd at-bat in the 3rd inning. We're here in the top of the 6th inning, 1 down, thanks in part to Josh Hatcher, as this one is foul-tipped into the mitt of Aaron Walters. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Brady Corrigan has now tied his longest starts and looks to continue his success as the breaking ball misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes into Troy Clouch. It'll be Klausch and J.C. Correa. Due up as Correa is on deck. The 1-2. Taken high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now is the count.
Corrigan just has it today, doing a great job mixing those pitches. Doesn't really come at you with anything too shocking.
2-2 taken on the outside corner for a ball. 3-2 the count goes to Troy Klausch. A pitch that could have gone either way, just on the line and a little outside. The full count. Swung on, ground ball over to Drew Swift on the backhand, but he cannot handle it. Drew Swift ranging out deep into the hole on the left side, as I'll be charged as an error. For Swift, his 7th error on the season, as now there's a runner on base against Brady Corrigan here in the top of the 6th inning, and J.C. Correa at the plate. Correa has already done damage to the Miners earlier in the season, had a walk-off win that came at Mulcahy Stadium. So someone the Miners do not like to see often. First pitch into Correa. He attempts a bunt, pulls it back, but it's good for a strike anyway. 0-1.
Real tough play there from Drew Swift, who's made a lot of those this year, but unfortunately just couldn't quite right there.
Toughest play for an infielder is the backhand. You can't control it as they would like to, and just didn't go his way. Swinging and a line drive through the hole on the left side for a base hit. Moving over from first to second is Troy Klausch, and on first base is J.C. Correa. Drew Swift now has the ball in the infield, tosses it over to Brady Corrigan. Corrigan now has to work out of some trouble here in the top of the 6th inning, where the Miners lead 1-0. There's some action going on in the bullpen. Looks like number 33, Noah Cordova, is warming up with the catcher David Avitia. As it's a 1-0 lead, and for the Miners, their bats are not here yet. Pitching coach Jeff Verlab will take a walk out to the mound. And I assume it's going to be a little bit of a short leash. Although Corrigan has done a great job so far, you don't want to lose this game.
Yeah, he has, and you're exactly right. The Miners not wanting to lose this game in the least bit, especially at home. One of final 2 conference games at home, and Corrigan hasn't gone too deep into ball games before, but if he can get a big double play right here, would be absolutely huge, and maybe could be the thing that fires up the Miners' bats.
And the key you said there, 2 home games. 1 home game today, 1 coming on next Sunday. For the Miners on the season, they're 16-4 at home. On the road, 9-11. So whenever they see the Bucs or whatever team it may be, they want to get the job done at home. They're looking to improve on the road. The best they can do is 500 now. But at home, they have to defend their home turf.
Exactly. And whenever you're in the playoffs, being at home just makes it a slightly easier. So hopefully they can possibly get a win today to ease off some of the pressure, as they'll have a tough 2 games against the Bucs in the next 3 days.
And as it stands in the standings, really the Bucs are the only team with a good chance at passing or tying the Miners, as the Oilers are 1 game away from being mathematically eliminated from first place. They still have a good chance of being in the postseason, as the first ball is in for a called strike on Tanner Treadaway. 0-1. There's runners on first and second base here in the top of the 6th inning with 1 down. Brady Corrigan looking to work out of some trouble. Look back at second now at the plate. A swinging and bouncing ball foul towards the left side and near the dugout of the Bucs. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. A big out to get for Brady Corrigan if he can get it right here. Tanner Treadaway, and on deck is Brennan Bro. Treadaway 0 for 2 on the day. A ground out to Brady Corrigan back in the second, and lined out to center fields in his second at-bat in the 4th. Runners are on first and second base here in the top of the 6th inning. Time is called by Treadaway, as Brady Corrigan looks to mix up his tempo and tries to keep these Bucs batters off balance.
And it also keeps the runners guessing on when Corrigan's going to motion to the plate.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. From the stretch, Brady Corrigan's ready, and he deals on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. 4th strikeout on the day for Brady Corrigan. A big out to get here in the top of the 6th inning. Brady Corrigan looks to keep on dealing, but will now have to go through Brennan Bro and will not have the opportunity to do so. The manager, Ben Taylor, is now taking his walk out to the mound. It's the second mound visit here in this inning. First one was by Jeff Erlab, now by the manager, Ben Taylor. I'm sure he's got to be happy with his starting pitcher as Noah Cordova will come into this game. It's the Miners 1, the Bucs nothing. Runners are on first and second base with 2 outs here on the top of the 6th. We'll return when we have Noah Cordova ready to pitch as you're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect to train. Look, listen, live.
Hi, I'm Brady Corrigan, right-handed pitcher from Arizona State, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Brady Corrigan doing his job today. After 5 2/3 of an innings pitched, he leaves with the lead intact, but there are runners on first and second base. The man in charge of getting the last out here on the top of the 6th will be Noah Cordova. Cordova comes into this game for Brady Corrigan, who went 5 2/3, allowed 3 hits, no runs, but the runners on first and second will be his responsibility should they come around to score. Corrigan allowed 1 walk and got 4 strikeouts. A nice job from Brady today as Cordova will have a tall task to get as Brennan Bro will stand in. Cordova on the season, a 1-1 record, an ERA of 2.32, has appeared in 13 games, only started 1 of them, as his success has come from the bullpen. 19 1/3 of an innings pitched, 10 strikeouts to 9 walks, and has allowed 12 hits. A hit might tie up this game, as on second base is Troy Klausch. Klausch on second, and J.C. Correa on first. Noah Cordova, the big righty, the tallest in the bullpen, is ready. First pitch is taken just a bit high on the outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Brennan Bro today on the day struck out in the 2nd and flew out to center field back in the 4th. Cordova's second pitch is off speed and in the strike zone for strike 1. 1-1 the count to Brennan Bro. Bro batting on the left side of the plate. Runners are at first and second base with 2 outs. Cordova, 6'6", 195 pounds, out of Chandler Gilbert Community College. Brennan Bro holds his swing as the ball is a bit low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike is now the count.
And Connor, the pitchers were having conversations with BT about what their job was yesterday. And today, I believe it's Brady Corrigan's job was to go 5 innings, minimum or max of 3 runs.
2-1 is a single right up the middle. Kona Quiggle charging hard from center field, rounding third and heading for home, and will score as the ball gets away from Aaron Walters. It's a RBI single for Brennan Bro. This ball game is tied up at 1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Cordova comes in to try to get Brennan Bro. He's unable to do so. Brady Corrigan will be charged with an earned run, although Noah Cordova gave up the hit. J.C. Correa went from first to second, and on first base with an RBI single is Brennan Bro. Tyler Malone now standing at plate from the left side, as the Miners will need to score more than 1 to win this game. They only have 1 hit. They'll have to get through the top of the 6th inning first. Cordova's first pitch misses low and inside to Tyler Malone. 1 ball and no strikes.
It's real unfortunate that the only run allowed of Corrigan's comes when he has to exit the game. but Cordova will have to shake it off.
The 1-0 taken low and inside again. 2 balls and no strikes. And that will not be an earned run charged to Brady Corrigan, as it was an error that allowed Troy Klausch to get on base. An error charged to Drew Swift. Something we don't say every day, but something we have to deal with. 2-0 the count, the pitch in. Taken on the inside corner for a called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike the count with 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. It's the Miners 1, Bucs 1. With runners on first and second base, an RBI single from Brennan Bro broke the scoreless game for the Bucs as the 2-1 is taken inside. So says Nate DeSantis. 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 pitch away from the bases being loaded. 2 pitches away from a strikeout. No Cordova. Looks back at second. Now at the plate, the 3-1. Checks his swing, but it's going to be inside. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. Tyler Malone walks his 9th walk of the season. And now Jace Vanderbrake, who walked his last time up, will come to the plate. Jace Vanderbrake is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the first baseman, who underhand tossed to Brady Corrigan in the 3rd inning in his first at-bat. And then walked against Corrigan, the only walk allowed for Brady, in the 5th. Miners 1, Bucs 1. Bucs a good chance here of breaking this game open. Tied at 1. First pitch in is a breaking ball that misses high and away for ball 1. There's no room on the base paths left for Noah Cordova to put anybody, and now pitching coach Jeff Verlab will jog out to the mound. Will not take the slow walk. Warming up in the bullpen now is Nathan Bach. For the Miners, we usually see Bach coming in the 7th or 8th inning as a setup man to get to close a Bryce toss-in. But for him to be warming up here, manager Ben Taylor is not playing around.
No, he's not. And this is Cordova's 3rd day of work, so maybe a bit of fatigue coming out of Noah. Nevertheless, he'll desperately need this out, as the Miners would not like to head into the bottom of this inning down. So Cordova just has to lock in, pitch some strikes, pitch to contact even, and get this 3rd out, because there is a great defense behind him.
Brady Corrigan went 5 2/3. Was pulled before he could get the 3rd out here in the top of the 6th inning. Noah Cordova comes in for relief, gives up an RBI single to Brennan Bro, his first batter faced, and now Tyler Malone got on base with a walk. It is now Jace Vanderbrake batting in from the left side. 1-0 the count after the mound visit. Swung on and fouled straight back. 1-1. Noah Cordova looking to get out of this inning. The bases are loaded. And for the Miners, they really need this out here, as the Bats have only produced 1 hit. But that hit was good for an RBI single thanks to timely hitting from Austin Pinerini. Bucs 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. Miners 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. As Noah Cordova's pitch misses low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. It looks like Cordova will get this batter no matter what happens here. Nathan Bach throwing not frantically, but working very quickly in the Miners bullpen, as he knows that his name could be called at any moment. The 2-1 swung on and found straight back. Cordova worked this count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's nowhere to put Jace Vanderbrake as the bases are loaded here in the top of the 6th inning. It's the Miners 1, Bucs 1 in a battle between the 1st and 2nd place teams here in the Alaskan Baseball League.
And there is a pitch to waste, but you don't want to if you're Cordova, because that would be the 3rd ball.
The 2-2 swung on and lifted just over the press box here at Herman Brothers Field. It wasn't a high ball, but the ball was moving backwards nonetheless. 2-2, the count remains into Jace Vanderbrake. Bases remain loaded. Infield is playing back. Outfield is straight away. Center fielder Kona Quiggle is playing towards his right of the bag, and he's more in left center field. A big gap in right center field for the lefty. The 2-2. This one hits him. Hit by pitch from Noah Cordova. Brings home another run. Now 1 earned run. Or check that. That's 2 unearned runs, as that would have been the 3rd out of the inning. So 2 unearned runs are charged to Brady Corrigan as Noah Cordova comes into this game unable to get an out. And now we will most likely see Nathan Bach. Cordova not happy with himself, as now the Bucs have a 2-1 lead, as the Miners will have to get the bats working to tie this game or take a lead. But first, they need one more out here in the top of the sixth. It's the Bucs 2, Miners 1. Nathan Bach coming into the game when we return.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer Henson, infielder at Oral Roberts University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Brady Corrigan went 5 2/3 and entered the top of the sixth inning. Got 2 outs, but runners are on first and second. Manager Ben Taylor elected to go with his righty from Chandler Gilbert Community College in Noah Cordova. Cordova gives up a game-tying RBI single to Brandon Bro. Then he walks Tyler Malone, and then hit by pitch to Jace Vanderbrake. An RBI single and a hit by pitch has driven in the only 2 runs for the Bucs as they take a 2-1 lead over the Matsu Miners here in this game. Cordova appeared in the game, allowed 1 hit. No runs as of yet, but now everybody on base would be his responsibility. The bases are loaded. So now bases are loaded here in the top of the sixth inning. 2 outs have been recorded. Nathan Bach will look to get the 3rd out of the inning. At the plate, Dimitri Calaccio, he's on the day, 1 for 2. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the 5th as the first pitch misses for a ball from Nathan Bach. And now in the 3rd inning, Dimitri Calaccio had a single, got around to second base, but did not score. 1-0 the count, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Matsu Miners now trail the Anchorage Bucs by a score of 2-1. Bases loaded. Nathan Bach looking to get the final out. The pitch low and away for ball 2. Bach needing to throw some strikes here as he'll offer and exchange a ball, trying to get a better grip and find something. Just needs to throw some strikes here as the past 2 batters, Tyler Malone and Jace Vanderbrake, got on base with a walk and a hit by pitch. 2-0 the count into Dimitri Calaccio, who's batting .259 coming into the day. Had 9 RBIs and 3 walks. Fastball misses high and away. And now the Miners are 1 pitch away from walking another one and bringing home another run. The Miners' 16-4 home record is on the line, as it is currently the best in the ABL when at home. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning, Nathan Bach, the pitch, taken on the outside corner for a called strike. 3-1. Now the count to Dimitri Calaccio.
That was a good pitch from Nathan Bach. It really painted that outside edge. So even if Calaccio had the green light, it would have been a hard pitch to hit.
3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Nathan Bach dialing back. The pitch is swung on and missed by Calaccio. Bach, after throwing 3 straight balls, has come back with 2 strikes. And now things get interesting. 3-2 the count, 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. The merry-go-round will be in motion. Runners are on first, second, and third for the Anchorage Bucs as Nathan Bach has 1 pitch that he needs to throw, and that's a strike. He steps off the rubber, composes himself a little bit as he knows what's on the line. The Miners looking to secure first in the ABL for the fourth straight year. This one is flied. It's a pop-up over towards the line at first base. The catch is made by Josh Hatcher. Nathan Bach gets the job done. Little scary to begin with 3 straight balls, but fires back with 3 straight strikes. It's a pop fly to the first baseman, Josh Hatcher, to end things in the top of the 6th, but not before. The Mat-Su Miners now trail the Anchorage Bucs by a score of 2-1. The Miners bats come back to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners on the Miner Radio.
Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
It's Josh Hatcher here, infield outfield from Mississippi State University, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
It's a different feel in the ball game now as we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brady Corrigan was cruising through 5 2/3 of the game. He was pulled with the Miners up 1-0. Only had to get one more out as then Noah Cordova came onto the mound. Cordova allowed the game-tying RBI single and walked a batter. Also hit a batter as 2 runs came in that fashion. First pitch from Preston Snavely into Austin Pinarini here in the bottom of the 6th is good for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Miners trail the Bucs 2-1. For the Miners, only 1 hit, and that came off the bat of Pinarini. As now he watches an off-speed pitch go by. No balls and 2 strikes to Austin. Pinarini now on the day is 1 for 1, but has a tall task here. Down to the count, 0-2 to Preston Snavely. The pitch swung on and fouled back over into foul territory. Ranging over is J.C. Correa. He's near the Bucs dugout and will run out of room. 0-2 the count remains to Austin Pinarini. And for Pino, he had 3 hits in the second game between the Chinooks and Miners yesterday. Had 4 RBIs. Tacked on his 5th today.
He really saw the ball well yesterday and saw it well in that first at-bat. And the Miners, if they want to come back right now, is the time to do it.
The 0-2 outside, ball 1.
And now is the time because Snavely, this will be his 4th time coming around, or rather 3rd time coming around in the order against most of these Miners. And the Bucs do have a solid bullpen.
The 0-2 pitch. 1-2 is swung on and grounded over towards first. Jake Veith has it. The underhand tossed over to Snavely's in time for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pinarini out with a ground ball to first. And now the top of the lineup for the Mat-Su Miners comes to the plate. Van Blake and Spencer Henson. For Van Blake, he's 0 for 2. Flew out to right field and struck out looking in his 2 trips to the plate. As the Miners have gone down 1, 2, 3 in the 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th inning. Not a good trend. Van Blake looking to bucket here. As now he watches a off-speed pitch go on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1. Looking to buck the trend is Caleb Van Blake trying to get on base as he the ball missed low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Anchorage Bucs They lead 2-1. 1-1 count. Checked his swing. Nate DeSantis says, yes, you did. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Caleb Van Blake. 1-2, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Infield playing back. J.C. Correa, the third baseman, playing about even with the bag. Outfield playing mid-depth. 1-2, swung on and fouled off left side. That goes out of play near the vehicle shed here at Harmon Brothers Field.
Maybe it's my eyes deceiving me, but it seems like Snavely has sort of slowed down his windup and his arm motion to the plate.
Something maybe as he goes through the 3rd time in the lineup. Van Blake, first time facing for the 3rd time as the 1-2 is on the way. Swung on and popped it up left side, shallow left field. Ranging in and making the call and the catch is Daniel Fredrickson for the 2nd out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Coming to the plate, Spencer Henson. Henson looking for his first hit of the day as he's 0 for 2 as well. Henson, a long fly ball deep into left field in the 1st inning, and then grounded out to 3rd base in the 3rd.
Henson has been a clutch hitter all year for the Miners, so we'll see what he can put together as we move to the latter half of the ball game.
844 people in attendance here at Harmon Brothers as the first pitch misses, or actually hits the low and inside portion. The ball got away from the catcher, Troy Klausch. And now a little discussion between Spencer Henson and Nate DeSantis took place, both kind of shaking their head. As now the count is no balls and 1 strike with 2 away. Preston Snavely pitching to Spencer Henson. 2nd pitch on the way, and that is taken low for ball 1. Scoreboard seems to be sputtering now. We've got both teams on the board, missing a couple innings. As the 1-1 from Snavely is delivered, swung on, line drive deep out into left field, but playing deep is Daniel Fredrickson, much to the disbelief and distraught Spencer Henson. So the bottom of the 6th has ended. The Bucs still lead the Mat-Su Miners by a score of 2-1. For the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, we'll throw it back over to Brad Walker. Hopefully he'll have some more luck with the bats. It's the Miners 1, the Bucs 2.
Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
Welcome back into the 7th inning of this matchup between the top 2 teams in the ABL, and it's proven to be that way. The score is currently 2-1 as we enter the 7th inning. Another nail-biter that we saw the last time these 2 teams squared off, as it was here at Harmon Brothers Field, that Tyler Bozetti ended things with a walk-off. So the Miners right now will look for that fashion as they trail the Bucs 2-1. So stepping up to the plate is the Bucs leadoff man, Daniel Fredrickson. So Veith and Klunch will be following up him as well. Nathan Bach still on the mound for the Miners. He got the final out in that 6th inning where the Bucs scored their 2 runs to give them a lead over the Miners 2-1. Fredrickson yet to have a hit tonight as he is 0 for 2, had a sac bunt back in the 3rd inning and flew out in his last at-bat. He sends this one deep into right field. Moving back is Nick Brooks. He looks at it, but it was foul.
That's a lucky break for the Matsu Miners. Wow, was that ball demolished deep out into right field.
And that's the second time tonight that Fredrickson has squared one up and hit it towards right field. The first time it was caught by Nick Brooks, and the second time it goes over the foul wall, as that is a streamline out in right field for the lefties. So Nathan Bach will toe the rubber again, as he is now ahead in the count, 0-1. So the Bucs trying to extend their win streak to 7. The Miners also trying to extend a home winning streak to 7 as well. This 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball that misses high, 1-1. Nathan Bach did appear last time on July 21st against the Chinooks, where unfortunately gave up the walk-off hit, but has only allowed 4 runs, 3 of them being earned in 21 and a third innings. Fredrickson skies this one foul and out of play to the left side, so he is now down in the count, 1 balls and 2 strikes to begin the 7th inning. Fredrickson now 4 of 24 against the Matsu Miners, so not seeing the ball too well when the men in green come to town, or when they come to see the men in green. Box 2-2, or 1-2 rather. This one dribbled over to second base. Caleb Van Blake gathers it, throws to first in time for out number 1. That'll bring up Jake Veith, who's been somewhat quiet tonight. He's 1 for 2, a hit back in his first at-bat, had an intentional walk in the third, and then a line out to Josh Hatcher, who made a nice play over at first base, and his last at-bat in the 6th inning, where Veith last night had a 3-run home run as the Bucs went on to win their 6th straight game. Though no one up in the Bucs pen, the Miners do have some guys playing catch, so Bach will definitely be facing Jake Veith. First pitch into Veith. That nails the outside portion of the plate. 0-1. Tyler Bozzetti's moved over a few steps into the hole of short and third. Drew Swift playing behind the second base bag, and Caleb Van Blake is playing about 10 steps behind the second base position in that shallow right field. As Bach misses low, the count goes to 1-1. Nick Brooks in the outfield also playing near that wall in right field. And then Josh Hatcher is on the outfield grass over at first base. So the 1-1 is a breaking ball that misses just inside to Jake Veith, 2-1. Mentioned Jake Veith was leading in batting average, coming in at a clip of 360, just .001 in front of Spencer Henson. So Bach's 2-1 offering. Veith swings through the off-speed pitch. Bach has now tied the count up at 2. Nathan Bach looking for his 18th strikeout this season. The right-handed reliever out of Southeast Missouri State. So Veith stands in from the left side with that open stance. Bach's pitch, this one softly lined into right center or left center field, and Konaquiggle is under it to make the catch for out number 2. Jake Veith has been retired in back-to-back at-bats. That's going to bring up Troy Clonch with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning, as the Miners look to set, or Nathan Bach rather looks to set down the Bucs after a long 6th inning.
And that was just a good pitching sequence to Jake Veith from Nathan Bach, getting him to look at a pitch, raising the elevation, lowering it, missing inside a little bit, and then just coming back and getting him to pop up. A nice job from Bach.
Always tough to pitch to Jake Veith, so whenever you can work it to perfection, it'll look really good. Bach nails the inside portion of the plate to the right-handed hitting Clonch, who got things going last inning, reaching on an error, and then ended up coming around to score the Bucs' first run as they lead 2-1. And Bach misses high and inside to Troy Clonch. The count is now 1-1. Clonch now in 1 game against the Miners, or 3 games now, is 1 of 10. So only 1 hit against this Matsu squad as Bach misses outside with the breaking ball. The count is now 2-1 with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning on this cloud-filled day here in Palmer. Bach from the wind. Clonch swings and misses at an inside fastball. So Bach once again tying up the count of 2, and very similar, actually exact to the same pitch count of Jake Veith. First pitch called strike, second pitch ball, third pitch ball, and a 4th pitch swung through. So the 2-2, breaking ball, high and inside, just misses. The count is now full with 2 outs. Clonch has only struck out 7 times this season, as he came into this one hot 5 hits in his last 15, but struggling from the dish tonight. Box payoff pitch. Fouled right back, just ahead of us in the box. So the count will stay at 3-2. Mentioned Troy Clonch out of Oregon State, the national champions this past spring. But right now, Clonch trying to help the Bucs to a ABL title. So box payoff pitch swung on and missed by Troy Clonch. He goes down on strikes for the second time tonight, and Nathan Bach works a perfect inning of relief here in the 7th inning. The Miners will look to tie this thing up or maybe take the lead in the bottom of the 7th. They trail 2-1 on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Kona Quiggle, outfield infield from Grand Canyon University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Preston Snavely on for the 7th inning of work as he goes for his longest outing of the year with his Bucs leading the Miners 2-1 in the battle of the top 2 teams in the ABL. The Miners have only gotten 1 hit off Preston Snavely, but we've mentioned time and time before it was a big hit from Austin Pinarini, an RBI single. So hence why they trail 2-1. Snavely has gone 6 innings twice, once on July 16th against the Oilers, which he only allowed 1 run, and also only allowing 1 run when he did so back on June 20th against the Miners, going 6th inning. He was the winning pitcher in that contest as well. Kona Quiggle will lead things off for the Miners in the bottom of the 7th inning as they look to try to get a little bit of a rally in the valley going. Kona Quiggle looks at a ball inside around his toes. So the count goes to 1-0. Kona trying to extend his 8-game hit streak as he's 0 for 2 today in this at-bat. 1-0 pitch misses inside. Quiggle has worked a 2-0 count. And Quiggle now 9 of 26 against the Anchorage Bucs. So seeing the ball well as he has also had a hit in every one of those contests. So the 2-0 into Quiggle has him checking his swing, but he held off as this was a ball in the dirt. 3-0. So Kona trying to get on. Now to only be the 3rd base runner to reach for the Matsu Miners all game long, as both did back in the 3rd inning where the Miners scored. So Snavely from the wind. His 3-0 misses high. Kona Quiggle walks on 4 straight pitches, and the Matsu Miners have their leadoff man on for the 2nd time tonight, and both times have been because of a walk. Snavely now with 14 walks on the season, as there is now some movement in the Bucs pen. A left-hander up as the Miners have no one in their pen warming up. And Nick Brooks will step to the plate from the right side. Kona Quiggle on first. He is the tying run as Nick Brooks is the go-ahead run at the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As it's getting down to crunch time, the Miners trying to hold, or rather extend their lead over the Bucs to 4 games. The Bucs only sit 3 behind in 2nd place right now. So Snavely from the stretch, his first pitch to Brooks. Fastball misses low and away. 1-0. Only the 2nd time tonight Preston Snavely has worked from the stretch. Mentioned the only time the Miners have really gotten to him were back in the 3rd inning. Other than that, they've been set down in order each inning since. So Snavely from his chest. His 1-0. After a long pause, is on its way. Misses inside. 5 straight balls. Check that, 6 straight balls here in the bottom of the 7th inning will call a mound visit from Troy Clonch and second baseman Tanner Treadaway. Going to ask Preston Snavely, going to try to compose him just a little bit, as the Bucs do lead the league in RBI or ERA with a 2.34 earned run average, and also in batting average against. Hitters only hitting 198 against this Bucs staff. However, where the Miners get them is in strikeouts. They have 309 coming into tonight, where the Bucs only 301, and that was thanks to a 15 strikeout performance yesterday at the hands of Asa Lacy and Malachi Emmond and Spencer Henson. So Snavely, he's down in the count 2-0 to Nick Brooks. His pitch, his fastball gets every part of the zone, so the count moves to 2-1.
And after throwing 6 straight balls, not surprising to see Nick Brooks kind of just take that pitch there, see where Snavely was going to be in the strike zone, and then we'll see what he does next if he can find the strike zone again.
As you'd have to imagine, Snavely on a short lease trying to work into his longest start of the season. But Nick Brooks, who had 2 RBIs yesterday, looks to possibly get one in now. So Snavely's 2-1. Brooks lines it in between short and third. That'll get into left field. And the Miners, for the first time tonight, have their first 2 base runners in an inning on base. Nice piece of hitting from Nick Brooks. Wasn't too fancy, just got it in play. And now the Miners are starting to bring across a threat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And head coach for the Bucs, Ken Hokoff, is going to make a walk to the mound. So I'd have to imagine that relief will be on its way. As we will know here in a few short steps, there's been no motion yet. So as always, you do get 2 visits. You may be asking if Snavely's feeling good and wants to go a little more. And it seems like we're going to get a pitching change. So we'll introduce the new Bucs pitcher when we come back. When we're in the bottom of the 7th inning on Matsu Miners Radio, the Miners trail 2-1, but have runners on first and second. Keep it here. It's going to be exciting on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Driving, the ultimate.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
The new pitcher for the Anchorage Bucs will be left-hander Kyle Woolenweber out of Gilbert, Arizona by way of New Mexico State. And he's been pretty good in relief for the Bucs this season. In 12 appearances, has racked up 20 2/3 innings pitched, a record of 3-0 with a 1.74 ERA, has struck out 27 and has only walked 7 as well. Currently rides a 6 scoreless inning streak, but we've seen multiple times this season the Miners have ended those from all kinds of pitchers around the ABL. Woolenweber last appeared on July 21st against the Pilots, where he went 1 inning of scoreless relief, only allowed a hit and 1 walk and 5 batters faced. This will be his 2nd time facing the Miners. In that lone appearance, he went 1 scoreless inning, striking out 2 in just 3 batters. So Woolenweber will be on with nobody out. He has the lead 2-1, but the Miners have the go-ahead run on first and the tying run on second. Quiggle on second, Brooks on first. Quiggle got things going with a 4-pitch walk to be in the 7th, and Brooks just with the base hit, as both of those runs will be attested to Snavely, who went 6 innings, gave up 2 hits. Currently sits at only 1 run, but could possibly be 2, depending on what the rest of this Miners lineup does, but walked 2 and struck out 3. So Snavely will tie his longest out of relief with 6 innings. That'll be the 3rd time he'll do so this season. Miners trailing 2-1. Aaron Walters steps to the dish. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but comes in riding a 5-game hit streak. So Woolen Weber, a lefty on lefty matchup for him. He takes a kick up and then spins around to check Quiggle. As the shortstop Calaccio tried to move in, maybe trying to work a little pickoff play, but I would imagine Kona not going to be too aggressive. So Walters has been swinging a nice bat for extra base hits of late.
And for Kona, he's got the speed to come around and score on second base, so he doesn't really need to have a big lead to then come around.
So Woolen Weber from his waist. Long look at second. Now his first pitch. Misses inside to Aaron Walters, 1-0. So Walters this season now is 4 of 19 against the Anchorage Bucs, but has driven in 17 RBIs as he's brought in 4 in the past 5 games. As Kona Quiggle, the tying run, stands on second, and Nick Brooks, the go-ahead, on first. Woolen Weber's second offering into Aaron Walters. Misses high for a ball. His first 2 pitches since entering this game have been for balls. The count goes to 2-0. No one warming up in the Miners' pen, so it's going to be interesting to see if Bach will go out for his third inning of relief. Nevertheless, Woolen Weber is in a jam and hasn't helped himself within these first 2 pitches as he comes set from the waist. Is 2-0 after a long look at second. Is on the way. Aaron Walters will foul it off to the right side. The count moves to 2-1.
I'm surprised Walters didn't really call for time there. You never want to stand in the box for too long. You always want to keep in motion, stay loose. With that time there, you kind of freeze up. Your muscles get tense. So you want to always, call time after that.
So the Miners, who average just under 7 runs per game over the last 5 games, have been held to 1 through 6 innings so far. But they have a chance to possibly put some more on the board with runners on first and second against the second-place Anchorage Bucs. Woolen Weber, who waits a long time on the rubber, really staring down Kona Quiggle, finally comes in with a breaking ball. That takes by Aaron Walters for a strike. The count is now 2-2. And you're right, partner. Interesting that right there even Aaron Walters doesn't ask for time. But if you're comfortable in there enough, you're going to stick with what you know. So Woolen Weber, after delivering 2 straight balls, has now brought it back with 2 straight strikes. Has 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Woolen Weber, long deep breath, long stare down to second. Now motions to the plate. Walters waits on it, sends it high, foul to left field. It's definitely got the distance to clear the wall, but unfortunately was just behind it, so he'll stay at a 2-2 count. Walters, who came in today batting a 7th best batting average of .296 in the ABL. Fortunately, it's gone down 0 for 2 today, but nevertheless can improve that batting average with a hit right here. As the Miners have only had 2 today after batting .342 over the last 5 games. So Woolen Weber's 2-2 pitch is on the way. And he hits the high outside corner for strike 3. Aaron Walters was in disbelief. So Kyle Woolen Weber, after starting off Walters with 2 straight balls, gets Walters to look at strike 3 for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, that ball was a high and outside. Must have hit the corner, according to Nate DeSantis. And now for Josh Hatcher, who's grounded out to second base twice, will have to find a way to put the ball and elevate it in the air somewhere because he can't afford a double play here.
So Walters steps up to the plate, who's grounded to second twice in this ball game. Would like to get his first hit in a big fashion as the Miners trail 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Woolen Weber, who really takes his time out there on the mound, delivers that nice big breaker for a strike, 0-1. And I tell you what, it's surprising that the Miners aren't going to try to get him off his game by possibly calling time, try to mess with his rhythm a little bit, as he really does, waits for his signs and then takes long looks to second and then a long look in before finally delivering the pitch. He'll come set from his waist, and it takes a long stare to second. Long stare to second. Finally goes in. Another bender in for a strike. 0-2. We keep alluding to it, but it's got to be tough for a hitter. He just stares and stares at second base before it seems like 5 minutes before coming to the plate.
And there's almost, I don't know how long you can wait and just kind of stare at the pitcher. Sometimes your eyes are going to move. You have to have tremendous focus to try and stay in against Kyle Woolen Weber, or at least call time.
That's Woolen Weber's mantra. is to really make guys wait for his pitches. He's ahead in the count, 0-2 with 1 out to Josh Hatcher. His offering has Hatcher well in front of it. Back-to-back strikeouts for the first 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning for Kyle Woolen-Weber. He's now up to 29 strikeouts on the season. But he'll have to face a right-hander for the first time in this relief appearance. And Tyler Bozzetti reached on a walk in the 3rd inning, was the lone run to come around to score for the Miners, and was the hero. The last 2 times these teams squared off gave the Bucs their last loss. Since then, the Bucs have won 6 in a row. So the Miners trying to win 7 in a row at home right now. Have runners on 1st and 2nd with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Woolen-Weber, after a long wait, deals into Tyler Bozzetti. He misses low and away with a fastball, 1-0. So we saw a lot of breaking balls to the lefty. It's going to be interesting to see what the approach is to the right-handed hitting Tyler Bozzetti.
I think if Bozzetti gets a fastball anywhere near the zone, he's going to be looking to swing and swing early. You don't want to stand in there against Woolen-Weber.
No, not at all. And Bozzetti has seen the ball well against the Bucs, 8 of 25 with 3 RBIs. Count is 1-0. Pitch into Bozzetti. This is a bender that misses outside. The count is 2-0. You would sort of expect that he's going to try to work the outside portion of the plate, especially against the righty, and really with that breaking ball. So 2-0 count now with 2 outs as the Bucs lead the Miners 2-1. And this battle between the top 2 teams and top 2 scoring teams has really been all about the pitchers. A total of 6 hits and only 3 runs, with the Bucs being the advantage, 2-1. So Bozzetti calling time, as going to try to break up Woolen-Weber's rhythm a little bit.
That's a smart move by Bozzetti. He doesn't want to stand in there. A lot of thoughts cross your mind. You don't know what pitch is coming. You're second guessing yourself on what you may or may not see. So you just take a deep breath, call the time, and make Woolen-Weber pitch to you.
So Woolen-Weber, from his waist, takes a peek at second, now motions to the plate. Bozzetti swings through the pitch. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Tyler Bozzetti does have 12 RBIs this season. And in yesterday's doubleheader, went 2 for 5 with an RBI in both games. So his long hit streak of 11 games was recently broken up, but trying to start a new one. As he stands in here in a big moment, the Miners with runners on 1st and 2nd, trying to extend their lead to 4 games over the Anchorage Bucs. Currently, they trail 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kyle Woolen-Weber has set down 2 in a row on strikeouts. Currently sits in a 2-1 count to Tyler Bozzetti. Delivers a fastball in the lower portion of the plate. He's tied the count up at 2, as Tyler Bozzetti does not seem to be in agreement of it. Doesn't say anything verbally, but his body language is saying, where was that pitch?
Well, he might
a strike.
He might not be saying anything verbally, but the fans here at Herman Brothers, as we hear down below us in the grandstand, are saying some things verbally.
And that lower portion of the plate has been a bit questionable tonight. The Miners fans not in agreement. Nevertheless, 2-2 is the count. 2 runners on for the Miners. They trail 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bozzetti from the right side of the plate. Woolen-Weber, the southpaw, on the mound. His long wait now to the plate. Breaking ball misses high. He thought it was strike 3, but Bozzetti has worked a full count. And so Bozzetti really working Kyle Woolen-Weber right now, as Bozzetti's only swung the bat once in this at-bat through 5 pitches. So a lot of standing and looking as he takes his time getting into the batter's box, trying to play a little bit of Kyle Woolen-Weber's game. Nevertheless, the count is full, 2 outs, so the runners will be on the move for the Miners. So if Bozzetti can poke one out, Kona Quiggle will most likely be able to come around and tie this game, as Quiggle was the winning run when Bozzetti walked it off. So Woolen-Weber with 2 outs. His payoff pitch misses inside. The Miners have the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So for the first time, Kyle Woolen-Weber allows a man on with his first walk of the contest, the 3rd drawn by the Miners.
Well, Miners stirring up something here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They need to get going, and they need to get going now. There needs to be a sense of urgency so this game doesn't go into the 8th, into the 9th. You want to give your pitchers a little room to breathe and allow them to pitch without having the stress of knowing I can't give up anything. Give them that breathing room and try to do it here right now.
So Drew Swift, who's starting to come around at the plate, will step in with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. All runners aboard for the Miners. They trail 2-1. Woolen Weber's first pitch misses high to Drew Swift. Swift tonight had a sac bunt back in the 3rd inning, so he is 0 for 1 with the flyout back in the 5th. As the runners will be moving with the crack of the bat, there is some good speed out there. Quiggle on 3rd, Brooks can move on 2nd, and Bozzetti can definitely fly around the base paths on 1st. As the go-ahead run is on 2nd now, and the tying run is only 90 feet away, as Woolen Weber, who came in a few batters ago, tries to get out of this inning unscathed. Second pitch into Swift, a breaking ball that misses low and inside. 3 straight balls have been delivered by Kyle Woolen Weber.
3 straight balls. They'll give your pitching coach a little agita right there, especially with the bases loaded.
So Swift, a guy not batting at a high average, but does have 15 RBIs this season. 2 of them have came against the Bucs, as he can deliver big time with the Miners trailing 2-1 currently. Woolen Weber's 2-0. Misses high to Drew Swift. He is now down the count 3-0. Kyle Woolen Weber came in. 2 straight strikeouts, looked like he was going to be flawless. Then Tyler Bozzetti works a full count, makes him work a little bit. He walks him. Now he's thrown 3 straight balls to Drew Swift.
Well, 3 straight balls. Again, pitching coaches never like to see it, but it's a credit to Bozzetti. He worked a long at-bat against Kyle Woolen Weber. He did it against the starting pitcher, Preston Snavely, and now Drew Swift with an opportunity for a base hit or ball 4.
And it seems like Woolen Weber is working a bit quickly now that lead runner's on 3rd, not taking the long look to 2nd anymore. So he comes set. He's down on the count 3-0. The pitch to Drew Swift. That misses low and inside. The Miners have tied the ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning with an RBI walk for Drew Swift. He now has 16 RBIs on the season and 3 against the Anchorage Bucs. I tell you what, it may not be the prettiest way to do it, but it worked.
Well, it wasn't the prettiest way for the Bucs to score their runs either. Now a little redemption for the Miners, giving the Bucs a little bit of their own medicine, tying this ball game up.
So a pitching duel as this game is tied up at 2. Back-to-back walks drawn by the Miners has brought in a run as the bases are still full for the 3rd best RBI man coming into this game, in Austin Pinerini. He already has one tonight. Could look to add some more, especially with all that speed on the base paths. The game's tied up at 2. Woolen Weber still on the mound. His first pitch is a fastball that's finally in for a strike for Kyle Woolen Weber. So after a ball streak, he finally comes back to Austin Pinerini. Pinerini grounded out in his last at-bat, but now 4 of his last 5 at-bats have been for hits and also has 5 RBIs in that span. So a lefty-on-lefty matchup. That's where Woolen Weber's been dominant. It's where he got the first 2 outs as the righties gave him trouble. And now a lefty in Pinerini. Pinerini swings at the outside fastball for a ball. The count is now 0-2. So we're tied up at 2 as the Miners have scored here in the bottom of the 7th. They scored 1 in the 3rd, now 1 in the 7th. The Bucs scoring 2 in the 6th. This game has been mainly accredited to the pitching, but the Miners trying to possibly expand into a lead here with Austin Pinerini at the dish and the bases full. Kyle Woolen Weber has walked 2 straight Miners batters, but it's ahead in the count 0-2 as he looks for his 3rd strikeout this inning. Goes back to the long wait now as he comes ready from his waist. Long look to first. His pitch to Pinerini. Breaking ball that misses well outside to the left-handed hitting Pino. Pino looking for his 9th multi-hit game of the season as he turned around his hitting in game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday and looks to keep the hot streak rolling and possibly give the Miners their 7th win in a row at home and extend this lead over the Bucs 2-4. 1-2 is the count, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. The Miners just scored 1 off Drew Swift's walk as the bases are still full. Woolen Weber, a big deep breath, comes ready. His 1-2 pitch misses in the dirt. Nice block on the left side by Troy Clonch. So after delivering 2 strikes to Austin Pinerini, he has missed with 2 straight balls. The count is 2-2. Woolen Weber, those were only his 8th and 9th walks to Bozzetti and Swift, but it seemed like the righties threw him off a bit.
Righties did throw him off his game plan a little bit. striking out back-to-back lefties and having to see a new body in on the opposite side of the batter's box maybe got in his mind a little.
It's not very common for the Bucs pitching staff to walk men, as they walk the second least coming into tonight with 130. And the Miners walk the third most out of any team in the ABL. Count sits at 2-2 with 2 outs. Bases full. Austin Pinerini swings through for strike 3. The Miners will leave the bases loaded, but can't completely hang their heads as they have tied this ball game up at 2, heading into the 8th inning of play here at Herman Brothers Field. The top 2 teams in the ABL squaring off in what really has been a great game. Keep it here on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is Kona Quiggle, outfield infield from Grand Canyon University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
After a long home half of the 7th inning, the Miners only got 1 run out of it, but it did tie this ball game at 2 as we head into the 8th inning. Nathan Bach on for his 3rd inning of work, as he has worked 1 1/3 innings so far. He came in the top of the 6th inning to record the final out and then set down the Bucs in order in the top of the 7th. Correa, Treadaway, and Bro are due up for the Bucs, as they are now tied with the Matsu Miners at 2. Correa tonight had a single in the 6th inning, ended up coming around to score, as he is 1 for 3. So he'll take a ball inside 1-0. Correa now on a 7-game hit streak, which he came into tonight batting .400 within that span and 2 RBIs. Counts it's 1-0. Bach works from the line. That's an excellent fastball on the lower outside corner. 1-1. Mentioned just a bit before break, this is between the first 2 teams in the ABL, and it's definitely shaping out like it as we're tied at 2. Bach, excellent breaking ball, hits the same portion of the strike zone. He's ahead in the count, 1-2.
And again, it's not where the ball is caught by the catcher. It's where it breaks over the strike zone. Correa not happy with it, but it broke in and then out at the last second.
1-2. Bach just misses low and away. That's a nice waist pitch. The count goes to 2-2. So Correa against the Miners now has 7 hits. It's also driven in 2 as he walked it off against the Miners earlier this season, as he sends one into left center field. Pinerini ranging back, looking at it. It's going to one-hop the wall. Correa slipping after he rounds first, so he'll have to settle for a double as he leads things off here in the 8th inning with a double. So J.C. Correa, with his 38th hit of the season and 8th double, comes here in the top of the 8th inning. And now the Bucs have the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the 8th. That brings up Tanner Treadaway. He is 0 for 3 tonight, and now 7 of 21 against the Miners, as skipper Ben Taylor will take the walk to the mound, and I'd have to imagine Nathan Bach's night is over, as this is an extended relief appearance for him. So after a discussion, he motions to the bullpen, and we'll have a right-handed reliever for the Miners when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio, all tied up at 2. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
Hi, I'm Caleb Van Blake, infielder from UC Davis, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
We have ourselves a ball game here in Palmer, as the new relief pitcher for the Matsu Miners will be Malachi Emmond. He comes on with a runner in second. At second, that is for the Bucs, as this game's tied up at 2. Malachi this season in 15 appearances has 18 innings of work, has a 2.0 ERA with 31 strikeouts, and has only walked 11 in his appearances. This will be the 5th time he'll be facing the Anchorage Bucs, and in 5 1/3 innings pitched, only allowed 1 run, which was earned, and he's also gathered up 10 strikeouts against this Bucs team. Malachi came on in a tough situation back when these two teams went 12 innings, as he came on for the scoreless 2 innings of work, I believe. And so he's looking to do the same here in a tight situation with the go-ahead runner on second. These are the top 2 scoring teams, but it's been all about the pitching tonight, as these are the top 2 pitching teams as well.
Well, good pitching can always shut down good hitting. Hitting will win you ball games, but pitching will keep you in that ball game.
Exactly. In the hitting for the Bucs, their past 6 games in that win streaks at 245, they brought across 21 runs, which is good enough if you have good pitching. Where the Miners, over their past 5 games, which they've won 4 of 5, have a 3.60 ERA. So both top teams in the ERA, both top in batting average allowed, both tops and strikeouts as well. So a mound meeting will adjourn before Malachi Emmond throws his first pitch between first baseman Josh Hatcher, shortstop Drew Swift, and catcher Aaron Walters. Correa is on second. He led off this 8th inning with a base hit. Tanner Treadaway will now step to the dish. He's 0 for 3 tonight, now 7 of 31 against the Matsu Miners, as he has now 4 strikeouts in his past 3 games. He's going to see a strikeout thrower in Malachi Emmond, who appeared in yesterday's game with an inning of scoreless relief and 2 strikeouts and only 3 batters faced.
Well, this is a huge moment right now for Malachi Emmons. Again, the first place team in the ABL against the second place team in the ABL. Every single one of these games matter, and right now this is the big moment in the game.
So Emmond comes set. The corners are in for the Miners as he takes a leg kick and will look back to second. Seemed like the Miners tried to get a little bit of a pickoff play ensuing, but Correa, only about 2 or 3 steps off the second base bag, does not want to be the first out of the inning, as the corners are in, possibly expecting Treadaway to pull down a bunt. So Emmond from the stretch, his first pitch, a breaker that nails the lower outside corner. He's ahead the count 0-1. That is Malachi's go-to pitch, that breaking ball, whether it's early in the count, middle of the count, or if it's a late in the count pitch. Outfield playing straight away. Middle infielders in regular depth, and the corners are in for the Miners defenses. This game is tied up at 2. The 0-1. This misses low and away. The count is now tied up at 1. So Treadaway, who came into tonight 3 of his last 8, now is 3 out of his last 11. Does have 7 RBIs on the season, but only 27 hits, opposed to 120 at-bats. So Emmond, who comes set from his torso, is 1-1 offering. Another breaking ball, 3 in a row from Malachi, but it's worked for him. He's ahead in the count, 1 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out in the top of the 8th inning.
As a batter, you start guessing, is it going to be fastball? Is it going to be breaking ball? You try to guess, almost like you're guessing on a Scantron in school. You don't know which, is it going to be A, B, C, or D? And right now, it's all been C for curveball for Malachi.
So Emmond comes set. He's ahead in the count, 1-2 to Tanner Treadaway. His pitch, fastball, just misses outside. The count will go to 2-2, much to the disapproval of the Miners faithful. The Bucs trying to tie this season series at 4, as the Miners have won the last 2 games and were the last team to defeat the Anchorage Bucs, who come in red hot with 6 wins in a row. This is the perfect time to do it, right before the playoffs. But the Miners trying to shut that down. So Malachi, who's got a 2-2 count, delivers into Tanner Treadaway. who barely gets the end of the lumber on it as he fouls it off. So the count will stay at 2-2. Malachi coming in to relieve Nathan Bach, who went 1 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 1 hit, has not allowed any runs yet, but Correa on second is his responsibility, did not walk anyone, and struck out 1 as well. So Treadaway stands in from the right side of the dish, the second baseman out of Seminole State, also the Oklahoma signee, facing Malachi Emmond out of New Mexico, originally from Coventry, Connecticut. So Emmond's 2-2. Breaking ball just misses high. The count has now been worked full by Tanner Treadaway. The Bucs have been on their streak. They were sitting around 3rd or 4th in the ABL, but have worked their way into 2nd, surpassing the Peninsula Oilers just a few short days ago. As after that Scout Showcase and All-Star break, the Bucs coming out on fire. The Lemons payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. He had Treadaway fooled with the breaking ball. That's the big first out here in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, he guessed A, and it was another C from Malachi Emmond. Just the breaking ball has been on point for Malachi. Had Tanner Treadaway laid off that pitch, we'd be singing a different tune. But it's so good for Malachi that it gets some of the best hitters swinging.
And talk about always going for the strikeout. That was a risky one. Breaking ball, it started on the outside part of the plate and then worked its way out. So Emmond now 32 strikeouts on the season, has 1 out in the top of the 8th. His first pitch into the left-handed hitting Brennan Breaux misses outside for a ball. As this Bucs team is only one of 2 teams to scavenge a run off Malachi, as he's only allowed 4 runs all season long. So he looks in. Correa still standing on second after getting things going in the 8th with the double. 1-1 for Malachi is a breaker that misses outside, 2-0. So the Bucs, who last scored in the 6th inning, they brought across 2 runs, are now tied with the Miners, who scored a run in the bottom of the 7th. So now the top 2 pitching teams' side of things is coming out in this battle of 1st and 2nd place. 2-0 from Emmond. Lined foul and out of play to the left side. He gets his first strike across to Brennan Breaux, who had an RBI single back in the 6th inning for his first hit of the day, and only his 2nd hit in his last 16 at-bats. But did have his first RBI in 18 days just 2 days ago. So now has 2 RBIs in a 3-day span. So Emmond's 2-1 pitch. This one, a bouncer over to shortstop. Drew Swift misplays it, as it looked like he was trying to charge up on it. As Correa was going to third, he was going to try to get the tag out. But unfortunately, Drew Swift, with his 2nd error of the day, very uncharacteristic from Swifty, allows runners on the corners now for the Anchorage Bucs.
Well, uncharacteristic indeed. And for Swift, we've seen him multiple times when the runner takes off from second and trying to go to third on a ground ball to him. He goes to third. He tried to hurry up his motion and mechanics and then just didn't field the ball.
So Drew Swift now 8 errors on the season, as he had 6 coming into tonight, now has 2. So Tyler Malone will step in from the left side with the go-ahead run only 90 feet away in J.C. Correa. And an insurance run standing on first in Brennan Breaux. So an opportunity, though, for a double play, as there is 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Emmond still on the rubber for the Miners, as that run on third, if it were to come in, would be charged to Nathan Bach. So Emmond, he comes set. His first pitch into Tyler Malone is a strike, 0-1. So Malachi, who has fallen behind in 2 out of the first 3 batters after first pitch, delivers a first pitch here, so now is 50-50 in that regard. As Malone, he's 0 for 2 tonight, but reached on a walk back in the 6th inning. Emmond's 0-1, a breaker that just misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. As this Miners faithful, over 800 strong tonight, is making their voice heard, trying to urge their Miners to a 7th straight home win and end this 6-game winning streak of the Anchorage Bucs. Emmond, his 1-1. This one grounded in the hole of first and second. The Bucs will take the lead here in the top of the 8th inning, 3-2, thanks to an RBI single from Tyler Malone. Only his 2nd hit in 22 at-bats, but it's a big one. Comes clutch, and the Bucs now lead the first-place Miners 3-2. As that one run will be charged to Nathan Bach, so His stat line's officially closed, allowing 1 run, which was earned. And now the Bucs with runners on first and second, only 1 out here in the top of the 8th, as Jace Vandenbrake stepped to the dish. He's reached in back-to-back at-bats. 0 for 1 on the day as he grounded out back in the 3rd, but then a walk and then was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. He was way in front of that off-speed pitch from Malachi Emmond. Count is now 0-1. So that hit surrender there to Malachi is only his 11th given up this season. Nevertheless, still has a chance to get out of this inning with only 1 run given up.
And it's always tough to start out an inning after giving up a leadoff double. Almost more than 50% of the time they come around to score.
As Emmond misses low with this pitch, the count is now 1-1. So Jace Vandenbrake, who was coming in fairly hot as well, was 3 of 7 in his past 2 games, with both of the RBIs in that span coming last night, has an opportunity to tack on another one as the Bucs lead 3-2 here in the top of the 8th. Emmond, his 1-1 offering, this one lined into center field, moving over is Konaquiggle. He won't be able to get to it. This will roll all the way to the wall. The merry-go-round is in effect. Coming around third and scoring is Brennan Bro, and all the way to third is Tyler Malone, thanks to a 1-out, 1 RBI double of Jace Vandenbrake. So Vandenbrake now with 3 RBIs in his past 2 games. He comes through in the Bucs thanks to some clutch hitting, are now leading the Miners 4-2. So Malone got all the way to third on the double. Now Dimitri Calaccio will step to the dish as Jeff Erlab will come on to make a mound visit with Malachi Emmond. As this has been a great game between these two teams. Should be an exciting finish. The Bucs currently lead 4-2 as they have brought across 2 runs here in the 8th inning. And if Malachi can get out of this inning, only 2 runs, it's not a big deficit for the high-scoring offense that the Miners are.
No, it's not, but they got to wake up sometime soon as it's the top of the 8th. Going into the bottom of the 8th, they're only going to go in with 2 hits. I mean, luckily they've scratched across 2 runs to be able to tie it back in the bottom of the 7th, but you need more than 2 hits to win a ball game.
And luckily for the Miners, they will have their top of the order due up, but they have to get there first. So we have 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. The Anchorage Bucs lead the Matsu Miners 4-2. They're trying to extend their win streak to 7 and try to come within 2 games against Matsu, as the Miners will bring in their infield against the 9-hitter Dimitri Calaccio. He is 1 for 3 today, reached on a single in the 3rd, a fielder's choice in the 5th, and flew out in the 6th. So Emmons still on the rubber after that meeting. His first pitch to Calaccio is a fastball that Nate DeSantis said he went around. So Malachi will start ahead in the count, 0-1. Malone stands on third. He had a single and then moved all the way over to third thanks to Jace Vandenbrake's RBI double. Vandenbrake now 9 RBIs on the season, as that was his first against the Miners. Emmond now, his 0-1. Nate DeSantis says Calaccio went around again. So Malachi Emmond ahead in this count, 0-2, as he looks for his 2nd strikeout of the day in the 2nd out here in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, one thing you can say about Nate DeSantis is he's consistent. He goes both ways with that call. Even if you just break your hands across the plate, he's going to call it a swing.
So the Miners, who do lead the league in strikeouts, have 6 today for a total of 158. So Malachi comes set from his torso. His 0-2 offering swung on and missed by Dimitri Calaccio for the 2nd out of the inning, thanks to another strikeout from Malachi Emmond. So that does tamper the damage just a little bit, as the Miners only need 1 more out here in the top of the 8th inning to get out of it with just 2 runs allowed and trailing 4-2. That does bring back the top of the order for the Bucs, as Daniel Fredrickson's 0 for 3 today. In his 2nd at-bat, however, had a sac bunt. So he's been retired in every single plate appearance today. Now just 4 of 25 against the Matsu Miners. There's still runners on 2nd and 3rd, as this first breaking ball misses low from Malachi Emmond. Vandenbrake on 2nd. He delivered the RBI double to extend the lead 4-2. And Malone is all the way over on 3rd. So the Bucs trying to come within 2 games of the Miners. The Miners trying to get their 17th win at home this season. as this is where they've been dominant at Herman Brothers Field. Malachi will take a step off the rubber and ask Aaron Walters to run back through the signs, as he is currently down in the count 1-0. Miners also winners of 4 out of their last 5. They would like to make it 5 out of 6, but they'll have to do so in a comeback effort. Malachi's 1-0. This one lined into center field. Konequiggle sprinting over. He dives and makes the catch for out number 3. A huge run-saving catch from Konequiggle ends the top of the 8th inning. Not before the Bucs score 2 runs. They now lead 4-2, but they'll only get 2 runs thanks to Konequiggle showing off the leather for out number 3 in the top of the 8th inning. Bucs leading the Miners 4-2. We'll head into the home half of the 8th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's Josh Hatcher here, infield outfield from Mississippi State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
The Bucs score 2 runs on 3 hits. The Miners had an error, and the Bucs left 2 on in the top of the 8th inning to retake the lead 4-2 over the Matsu Miners in what has been a game between the first and second place teams in the ABL, as the Miners' final 3 conference games, final 4 that is, are going to come against the Anchorage Bucs. 2 of them at home, this being the first. The next 2 will be on the road, so they will end their season at home against the Bucs. But they have to try to come back here in this first game in the bottom of the 8th inning. The top of the order due up for the Miners as Caleb Van Blake steps into the dish, looks at a high fastball that he had to bend out of the way of. It was towards the bill of his helmet, as Woolen Weber is still on to work his second inning of relief. He retired all 3 outs in the bottom of the 7th, but not before he allowed the 2 runs, but they were a test to Preston Snavely. So Woolen Weber's 1-0 is fouled back by Caleb Van Blake, who's 0 for 3 today. Now has only 1 hit in his past 10 at-bats and 2 of 14 against the Bucs. But he just looks to get on to bring that tying run to the plate, which would be Spencer Henson and Konequiggle are also due up this inning. So Kyle Woolen Weber, who always works from the stretch, his 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball that hits the bottom of the zone. He's ahead in the count 1-2. Woolen Weber came in on fire with 2 straight strikeouts in his first 2 batters, but then walking 2, allowed the game to be tied, and then struck out Austin Pinarini. So all 3 outs last inning came via the strikeout. 1-2 is the count to Caleb Van Blake. Kyle Woolen Weber takes a long wait on the rubber, now offers in, has Caleb Van Blake just fouling it off. So he'll stay alive at 1-2. As the Miners mentioned, winning 2 in a row against the Bucs and lead the season series 4-3. So the Bucs trying to tie it up at 4 right now as they lead 4-2. They have scored now a total of 148 runs on the season. The Miners just need 1 more to score 200 total on the year. Woolen Weber comes set from his waist. His 1-2 pitch, a breaking ball that Caleb Van Blake fouls off. So the count will stay at 1-2. Van Blake doing a nice job of working Woolen Weber. Last time we saw him worked was by Tyler Bozetti, who ended up drawing a walk out of it. I'm not saying that'll be the outcome, but good to see Van Blake fouling off pitches when need be. Woolen Weber, who looks in, this is the second time he's facing the Miners. Ahead to Caleb Van Blake. Kicks and deals. And Blake, well in front of that one, strikes out for the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. Kyle Woolweber, all 4 of his outs have come on strikeouts. But that brings up Spencer Henson, the RBI leader in the ABL and came in second in batting average, is 0 for 3 today, but has been the man in late game situations for the Miners. So he'll look to start a little bit of a rally with 1 out now in the bottom of the 8th. His Miners trail 4-2. Spencer Henson, a big reason for that team batting average of 263 for the Miners. And the Miners also with that team on base percentage of 348, all coming into this game. Woolweber misses high to Henson, 1-0. The 2 right-handed batters that Woolweber has seen, he has walked both of them. So interesting to see how he pitches to Henson, as the right-hander looks like Adrian Mardueno is up in the bullpen for the Bucs, their closer. It's going to be interesting to see if he'll come on to try to shut things down. The 1-0, Henson, towering shot into center field. Moving back is Bro near the warning track. He makes the running grab for out number 2. So Spencer Henson will go 0 for 4 tonight unless the Miners extend this game.
Well, it's never too late.
Comes up in the 9th inning.
Yeah, it's never too late for a little rally in the valley here. It ain't over till it's over. And it ain't over yet.
No, sir. Would have to completely agree with you on that one. Did not want to come off saying that the night's over. It's just there's still 7 batters to come, so the Miners could definitely score more than 2 runs in that time. Nevertheless, there's 2 down in the bottom of the 8th inning. Koenigsegg steps to the dish. Another left-handed hitter that Kyle Woolweber has faced very well as he misses with a breaking ball, 1-0. Koenigsegg got things going in that 7th, came around to score that tying run off a walk as he started the 7th inning with a walk as well. So the 1-0 into Quiggle, a breaking pitch that nails the lower outside portion of the plate to the left-handed hitting Koenigsegg, who's looking to extend his 8-game hit streak and try to get 10 hits against the Anchorage Bucs. The Woolweber has been pretty good. This is his 2nd time facing the Miners, as he only went 1 inning in his first appearance. He's already gone longer than that as he misses high, 2-1. And Woolweber now has 7 multi-strikeout appearances in 13 appearances of relief. So he looks in. He'll come set from his waist, take the long pause, and now fire in. He misses outs up in the zone, rather upstairs with a fastball. The count is now 3-1 to Koenigsegg. The Miners can get Quiggle on and would bring the tying run and Nick Brooks to the plate. And Brooks definitely has that one swing of the bat power to possibly tie this game up if Kona can get aboard. Kona with the open stance from the left side of the dish out of Grand Canyon, looking for his 49th hit of the season. So Woolweber, a long wait, now delivers. He misses high with a fastball. Koenigsegg is aboard, and that will bring the tying run to the plate in Nick Brooks. So the 3rd walk issued today by Kyle Woolweber, now up to 10 walks allowed on the season. And it looks like they're going to ride with him as the right-handed hitting Nick Brooks steps to the dish. Seemed like at first everyone was kind of looking over at the Bucs dugout on the left side thinking, is there going to be a mound visit? Are they going to bring in Mardueno? But they're going to roll with Kyle Woolweber. As Koenigsegg stands on first, Nick Brooks in at the plate. He had a hit in his last at-bat. It did come against Preston Snavely, as that was the last batter Snavely saw. So Woolweber's first pitch in Nick Brooks. It's a fastball that hits the outside corner, 0-1. Brooks, the right-hander. We mentioned Woolweber. The times he has struggled to get the ball across the plate has come against right-handed hitting, but he just showed he can miss to a left-hander as well as Kona stands on first. So Woolweber, who was first line of relief for Preston Snavely, looks for the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 8th. His Bucs lead the Miners 4-2. And now with that low inside strike on Nick Brooks, he's ahead in the count, 0-2. Brooks now with hits in 9 of his 11 games played this season. Takes a long look at his bat, now steps back into the right-handed batting box. Koenigsegg on first. Brooks the tying run as the Miners trail 4-2. Woolweber's 0-2 pitch. Brooks swings through the high fastball for strike 3. Woolweber gets out of a slight jam in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Bucs will head into the final inning of regulation atop of the Matsu Miners 4-2 on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is Kona Quiggle, outfield infield from Grand Canyon University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
So for this final inning of regulation, Sean Hughes will come on for relief here in the 9th. Sean this season in 12 appearances has 13 2/3 innings pitched, an ERA of 3.95, but in such a short sample size for a reliever, that's not the most accurate telling thing, as he has a 1-0 record, 18 strikeouts, and 13 walks, as he has only allowed 1 earned run in 3 appearances this season. This will be the second time he's facing the Bucs, and in 1 appearance, went 2 1/3, allowed no runs, 1 walk, and struck out 2. So Hughes will be facing Veith, Claunch, and Correa here in the 9th inning as the Bucs lead the Miners 4-2, looking to extend their win streak to 7. So Hughes will come on to face one of the hottest hitters in the ABL. A first pitch breaking ball on the outside portion of the plate, 0-1. A shift on for Veith. Bozzetti playing more of a shortstop role. Drew Swift behind second base, and Caleb Van Blake into shallow right field, and hugging the line and on the skirt of the outfield is first baseman Josh Hatcher. This next pitch misses outside. The count's 1-1. Nick Brooks also playing well back, along with the rest of the outfield. So Hughes, who works from the stretch, his next pitch is a breaking ball, and he just misses with that one. Must have been high. It counts 2-1. Hughes out of Boston College and originally from Williamsburg, Virginia. Comes set his 2-1 offering. This is a breaking ball that nails the upper outside corner. The count is tied up at 2 to Jake Veith. Veith today is just 1 for 3. Reached on a hit and an intentional walk. So the Bucs, who scored 2 runs last inning, now hold a 4-2 lead. Hughes' 2-2 offering. This is clobbered into right field. It's going to one-hop the wall before Brooks can get to it. Coming around second is Veith. It's going to be a close play down to second, and the Miners will not get Jake Veith. He was barely underneath that slide, or that tag of Tyler Bozzetti at second base. So Jake Veith gets things going, much like the Bucs did in the 8th inning with a leadoff double. That's going to bring up Troy Claunch. Claunch today is 0 for 4, struck out in his last at-bat back in the 7th inning. As Sean Hughes just recently made an appearance on July 21st at the Chinooks, he went 2 1/3 of scoreless relief as well with 5 strikeouts. So a righty-on-righty matchup now for Sean Hughes. as there is a runner in scoring position for the Bucs. They lead 4-2. Nice breaking ball from Hughes. He's ahead in the count, 0-1. That's V's 14th double all season long, and now his 42nd hit and second hit of the day. So Clonch stands in from the right side, been struggling today. Uses 0-1. This one hits Clonch up in the head. It was a fastball that got high and in. Hughes immediately trying to get in to wish Clonch help as he just missed on that one. It was not intentional in the least bit. Everyone understanding as it's just baseball. So Clonch will be looked at by the trainer. And the Bucs will have runners on first and second with nobody out in the top of the ninth.
Well, of course, I mean, you don't want to hit anybody, especially up in the head. And, of course, unintentional. You don't want more base runners on the base pass against the Miners if you're Sean Hughes and, just has to work his way out of this and stay focused now.
So Troy Clonch, who gets out of the meeting, runs down to first. The trainer still discussing with him. I'm sure there's a few concussion protocol things they'll run through quickly. And they're going to make sure Clonch is okay because head injuries are something not to be taken lightly, especially in baseball, as Hughes does work that fastball up in the 90s. So definitely a bell ringer.
Well, not only 90s, but 94. Teetering on the edge of 95 at times. That's a hard ball to hit and see, and especially hard one to get hit with.
So J.C. Correa will step up to the plate. He got things rolling in the top of the 8th inning with a leadoff double and now has runners on first and second. He looks to bunt as Sean Hughes misses low and away with the breaking ball. So the count will go to 1-0 on Correa. Correa, that was his second hit of the night, now 2 of 4. That was his 8th double of the season. So he came around to score the Bucs' third run as they lead now 4-2. Fastball from Sean Hughes, that misses high. The count is 1-0. Nobody out in the top of the 9th inning. The Bucs trying to extend their lead over the Miners as it currently sits 4-2. Also, the Bucs trying to tie this season series up at 4. So Hughes is 2-0. This misses in the dirt. A nice block from Aaron Walters. That pitch was in the left-handed batting box. So Correa, who bats from the right side, has already extended his hitting streak to 7 tonight and is hitting well over 400 in that span. So Hughes, a long look in. He's fallen behind in the count, 3-0. Pitch to Correa. This misses up and in. So he walks J.C. Correa on 4 pitches, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. Definitely not a situation the Miners would like to be in right now. But nevertheless, Sean Hughes will try to work his way out of it as there's a left-handed thrower up in the bullpen warming up for the Miners.
Looks like Nolan Monahan warming up out in the bullpen if Hughes cannot get an out here.
So that's going to bring up Tanner Treadaway, who bats in from the right side. A righty-on-righty matchup for Sean Hughes. The bases are loaded for the Bucs, who lead 4-2. So that'll bring in the corners of the infield. The middle infield will stay in double play depth. Actually, Jeff Erlab will now take a visit to the mound and probably going to give Nolan Monahan some more warm-up time if needed, as the Miners look like the way their defense was aligned, they're going to play for the double play ball unless it goes to the corners. So a long discussion with Sean Hughes. So Treadaway, who will be stepping into the plate, he is 0 for 4 tonight and is 7 of 22 against the Miners, with striking out in his last 2 at-bats. He's now struck out 5 times in the past 3 games. So Sean Hughes trying to work his way out of a real tough situation here in the top of the 9th inning, as the Miners now have walked 3 batters today. They lead that category in the ABL. It's now up to 155 as a team total, as that was something the Miners struggled with in the beginning of the season, but they seemed to figure it out. Unfortunately, it's starting to haunt them right now. So Treadaway steps into the dish after the meeting between pitching coach and pitcher, and now all the infield for the Miners will come in and definitely look to get that force out at home to try to just hold this deficit to 2. All Miners faithful holding their breaths, hoping the Miners can pull something out here in the final inning of the game. Hughes' first pitch into Tanner Treadaway, just misses outside with the breaking ball, so he's fallen behind in the count, 1-0, and has thrown 5 straight balls. So Hughes looking to find that command. He's going to need it as no bases are open. Comes set from his waist, kicks and deals. This is a fastball that nails the lower inside corner for strike 1.
And now that Hughes has thrown a strike, he's got a feel for the strike zone again. Look to see him kind of work around there and build his confidence up from there.
So a game that we saw cruising through, only 1 run through 5 innings, has definitely slowed down as there has been a total of 5 runs in these final 4 innings of work. So Tanner Treadaway steps out of the dish to take a deep breath as the game is 4-2. And what you would have expected out of the top 2 teams in the ABL squaring off just before the postseason rolls around. So Hughes, his 1-1, misses high and in with a fastball. He's now down on the count, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think no matter what, Hughes gets this batter. If he gets him out, he gets a little bit more leash. If not, Monahan probably comes into the game.
As seems like the warming up of the Bucs closer, Adrian Mardueno, has come to a halt. I'm sure he'll get going if some outs are recorded for the Miners. So Hughes from his waist is 2-1. This misses high with a fastball. He'll need to deliver a strike or else the Bucs will add on to this 4-2 lead. A hitter's count now for Tanner Treadaway. Treadaway's a guy you want to pitch to. 0 for 4 today. And just 3 hits in his past 12 at-bats. So Hughes is 2-1. And misses high with a fastball. He's walked in the 5th Bucs run. They now lead by 3 over the Matsu Miners, 5-2 in the top of the 9th. And the bases were stay loaded. So back-to-back walks drives in that 5th Bucs run. And that'll bring skipper Ben Taylor to the mound. So you're correct, partner. Looks like we're going to get Nolan Monahan coming in the game. We'll introduce Nolan when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. The Miners trail by 3, 5-2. There is nobody out in the top of the 9th. Keep it here on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
So a tough spot for the Matsu Miners right now. They trail 5-2, and the bases are loaded in the top of the 9th with no one out. Throwing into the fire will be Nolan Monahan, the left-handed pitcher from Wasilla, Alaska, just outside of Palmer. Definitely a fan favorite. Had a great ovation when his name was announced. So Monahan, who hasn't appeared much this season, this is just his 3rd appearance, has started, 4th appearance rather, has started 2 games, and in 6 innings has a 4.50 ERA and 5 strikeouts with 4 walks. And this will be the first time he'll be facing the Anchorage Bucs. Nolan, who was a big part of the championship winning team last year with a 3-run record, a 3.60 ERA and 40 innings pitched. Not getting as much time this year, so the sophomore out of Feather River Community College in California comes in and tries to deliver for the hometown team in the Matsu Miners. He'll be facing left-hander Brennan Bro. with the bases loaded. So the Miners infield is in. They trail 5-2 here in the bottom of the ninth, or the top of the ninth rather, as Sean Hughes will be relieved after walking in a run. Monahan's first pitch is fouled back. So the count moves to 0-1. Monahan, it's also been a bit since we last seen Nolan in a regular season game, that is, as he did pitch in the showcase game. It's his 0-1. Misses low and inside, so the count is now 1-1, as Nolan was the opening day starter for the Miners on sort of a short stint. Only went 4 innings in that start, but nevertheless was a good stint. This is the first time Nolan's pitched since July 4th. So he misses high and away with a fastball to the left-handed hitting Bro. The count is now 2-1. Standing on first is Tanner Treadaway. He had the RBI walk. On second is J.C. Correa. On third is Troy Clonch. So the 2-1 from Monahan is fouled out of play to the left side. He has now tied the count up at 2. Nolan doesn't come with a lot of high-velocity stuff, but really works on placing pitches in spots that are tough to hit for batters and possibly get some ground outs, as Miners are still in search of their first out here in the top of the ninth. Monahan from the wind, swung on and missed by Brennan Bro. Monahan's first batter goes down swinging, and the Miners have finally recorded their first out here in the top of the ninth inning. So a bit of relief, but the bases are still loaded with 1 out here in the top of the ninth. So that'll move the middle infield back, as they will look to turn the double play if it comes that way. And the corners will stay in for the Miners, as the infield seems to be a few steps in. Left-handed hitting Tyler Malone will now step to the dish, facing the southpaw Nolan Monahan. Monahan's first pitch to Malone, the fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Malone today only 1 hit in 3 plate appearances, as he also walked as well in the second inning, or 6th inning, that is. So the 1-0, this is on the ground. It's going to get by the first baseman Hatcher and go into right field. Coming around to score is Clonch. Around third and scoring is J.C. Correa. So a 2 RBI double off the bat of Tyler Malone widens the Bucs lead 7-2 over the Mat-Su Miners in the top of the ninth inning. The Bucs now have scored 5 runs in these final 2 innings of play to extend this lead 7-2 as they look for their 7th straight win in the ABL. So both of those runs will come against Sean Hughes. So Monahan's still looking for that second out. It's going to be harder to get just 1 swing of the bat, all 2 of them, as there is just runners on second and third now. So Monahan will have to work from the stretch. So the runner on third is Hughes' responsibility, and then the runner on second is Monahan's. So Nolan misses low and away with a fastball. The count has moved to 1-0. Jace Vandenbrake, who had an RBI double back in the 8th inning, steps up to the dish. So these last 2 innings have proven to be costly for the Bucs, if they've done all of their scoring rather in these last 4 innings, in the 6th, 8th, and 9th. Jace Vandenbrake well in front of that pitch from Monahan. Count is now tied up at 1. Vandenbrake, left-handed hitting right field out of Gonzaga, now has 3 RBIs in his past 2 games played, as the Bucs are sitting well with a 7-2 lead in the top of the 9th inning against the ABL leading Mat-Su Miners. Monahan's 1-1. This one a 1-hopper to Drew Swift. He misplays it. Now picks it up. His throw to first is not in time. So the Anchorage Bucs will bring across yet another run, and they have scored now 4 in the top of this 9th inning. So their lead is now 8-2, as you are able to hear a pin drop here at Herman Brothers Field on what has really been a tugging heart performance for this Bucs team leading the Miners. So Vandenbrake now 4 RBIs in his past 2 games with that RBI single. That's going to bring up Dimitri Calaccio. So Monahan will come set, as all runs this inning have been a test to Sean Hughes. So his day is over with no one retired, allowed 1 hit, 4 runs all earned, and 2 walks. Monahan delivers a strike on the lower portion of the plate. 0-1. 1 down, top of the 9th. The Bucs have now scored 8 runs in the final 4 innings. to lead the Miners 8-2. As early it was a pitching contest. We mentioned those first 5 innings, only 1 run allowed as the Miners were leading at that point. Then the Bucs started figuring it out from the plate as they are the second best hitting team, second best run scoring team as well. So Monahan's 0-2. This misses low and in the dirt to the right-handed hitting Dimitri Calaccio. So the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Calaccio is 1 for 4 today, had a single back in the 3rd inning, and there's runners on 1st and 2nd for the Anchorage Bucs. 1-2 pitch from Monahan is flared out of play to the right side, so the count will stay at 1-2. So the Bucs trying to get that 7th win in a row and bring the lead to the Miners ever so closely, now to 2. But the Miners will see the Bucs 3 more times after this contest, twice on the road, and then the Miners will end their season at home against the Anchorage Bucs. So the 1-2 is in the lower inside corner for strike 3. Nolan Monahan gets the 2nd out of the inning with his 2nd strikeout. So he is now up to 7 total on the season. As Calaccio, that's the 2nd time tonight he's been set down on strikes. And the only man that has not stepped foot in the batting box this inning is Daniel Fredrickson. He is on with runners on 1st and 2nd. And the Bucs holding a 8-2 lead over the Mat-Su Miners, as they have had 9 hits this inning, or 9 hits in this ball game, with 7 of them coming in the final 4 innings. So Monahan from the stretch takes a peek down at 2nd, now motions to the plate. Misses low and away with a fastball to the left-handed hitting Fredrickson. Fredrickson is 0 for 4 tonight. So now only 3 hits in his last 16 at-bats and 4 of 26 against the Miners. On 2nd is Malone, and on 1st is Vandenbrake for the Bucs. As Monahan tries to get out of this long 9th inning. This one towered into left field. Moving in is Austin Pianarini, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. But not before the Anchorage Bucs extend their lead greatly over the Mat-Su Miners with 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning. The Miners will need to get 6 in the bottom of the 9th as they trail 8-2 on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
Can the Miners find some magic here at Herman Brothers Field as they trail 8-2 heading into the bottom of the 9th inning? They'll do it against John Altman, the right-handed thrower from Anchorage, Alaska, and Paris Junior College. Altman has a perfect ERA through 12 innings of work. This will be his 10th appearance. Does have a save on the season, as this is a non-save opportunity. 5 strikeouts and 5 walks as well. So not a guy that's used greatly for the Bucs team, but with a 6-run lead, they'll throw him out there. Aaron Walters, Hatcher, and Bozetti do up for the Miners, as the Miners will just have to work slowly but surely if they want to make up the 6-run deficit here in the bottom of the 9th and extend their season series lead over the Bucs 5-3. Walters' first pitch swinging, sends it high in the air into shallow center field. Bro moving in, calling everyone off, and makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 pitch and 1 out for John Altman. Very efficient as he relieves Kyle Woolenweber, who went 2 innings, allowed no hits, no runs, and had 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. So he was efficient as Josh Hatcher steps up to the plate. As Miners faithful still in attendance, hoping for something special here at Herman Brothers Field. But the Miners will have to do it with 1 down. So John Altman misses outside with a fastball. The count is 1-0. Hatcher tonight is 0 for 3. He struck out in his last at-bat. As he looks at another ball, count is now 2-0. Altman with that perfect ERA, but the Miners have done that once this year when Mike Lopez had a perfect ERA, and the Miners broke that down in Kenai on the trip to face the Oilers. So Hatcher swings through that one. The count is now 2-1. So Hatcher 0 for 3 today is now 2 of 10 against the Bucs as he sends a warm burner over to second base. Tanner Treadaway has it and throws it over to first base in time for out number 2. So the Miners are down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th inning as they trail 8-2. The Bucs have now scored 8 runs in the final 4 innings in an attempt to extend their 7-game win streak as Tyler Bozzetti is the final hope for this Matsu Miners team, the right-handed hitting third baseman. He was actually very vital in that 7th inning, drew a walk to load the bases. As the first pitch misses high to Bozzetti, the count is 1-0. Bozzetti has reached twice tonight, both on walks, so he's 0 for 1 with the strikeout back in the 5th inning. Next pitch to Bozzetti misses high, the count is 2-0. With that strikeout, Bozzetti has been sit down 26 times on strikes, but really improving on the season average-wise as it sits around 250. So Altman from the stretch, his 2-0 pitch is looked at low. He's thrown 3 straight balls to Tyler Bozzetti, who looks to be the first base runner for the Matsu Miners. And all it could possibly take is 1 to get this Miners team going. So Altman from his chest, his 3-0 pitch. This nails the lower portion of the zone. A hitter's count now with 2 down in the bottom of the 9th, 3-1. As the Miners have won the last 2 games of this matchup, and the next 3 will be against the Bucs as well. So Tyler Bozzetti, he's on board on a walk. So this game will keep on going here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
It's extended by 1. I mean, Bozzetti, he's been good plate discipline on the day, taking 3 walks. Did strike out once, but hey, on base 3 out of 4. That's not bad.
So Drew Swift will step in from the right side of the dish, facing the right-hander Altman. He had an RBI walk in his last at-bat, as he now will take a ball 1-0 from Altman, who's thrown 3 straight balls rather. Tyler Bozzetti on first. No one will be covering him, as the Miners will really have to do some hitting or have a lot of plate discipline, possibly get 6 runs. 1-0 into Swift. That misses high, 2-0, as that's going to bring out a mound visit. As it seems like there's a new catcher out there in number 20. I believe it's going to be either Jacob Castro or Sladen Mole. I would have to guess Castro because it sort of looks like a 1, but there is no number 21 catcher on the Bucs roster. So it looks like Jacob Castro, the catcher from UC Irvine, is the defensive replacement for the Bucs. This 2-0 pitch is dribbled over to first base. Jake Feith trying to make the play on his own. Did he beat out Drew Swift? He did, and this ball game is over. The Miners lose a real tough one tonight in Palmer, 8-2 at the hands of the Anchorage Bucs, who have now extended their win streak to 7 wins in a row and are only 2 games back from the Matsu Miners. So the Bucs, with this win, improved to 22-17 and 7-13 on the road. The Miners will drop their 6-game home win streak as they fall to 25-16 and 16-5 at home. So, Connor, any final thoughts before we head into the post-game show?
Just there's a lack of hitting, and the pitching kind of fell apart at the end. Miners, they had a good day yesterday. They won 2 for the doubleheader. They brought the bats. They brought the pitching. Today, they just fell flat.
So a real unfortunate loss, but the Miners will be back in action to try to revenge this loss against the Bucs in Anchorage tomorrow night at 7. We will be there on the call, and we will have our pregame show starting about 15 minutes to that contest, so around 6:45. So for the final time tonight, the Miners drop a real tough one to the Anchorage Bucs, 8-2. For Connor Mills, this is Brad Walker, and it's been a pleasure.